All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are recording here at Charlie's Tavern in the heart of beautiful downtown Grayslake, Illinois. My name is Evan Rafferty. Sitting here with me, as always, is Jay Clancy and the charcuterie king of Lake County, Mr. Patrick Whistler. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the 1,
2, 3, 4 Shots podcast.
And today we have a very special guest. His name is Corey Grupe, Chef Corey Grupe, excuse me. Guy I've worked with before. And today we are drinking Espolón tequila because that's what Jay brought with them. And here we go, boys.
Chim chim, boys.
Cheers.
Cheers. Woo.
Tasty.
All right.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, delightful.
I'll take things that don't suck for 1,000, Alex.
Get the heart going there a little bit. Damn, boys, it feels good to be back here. For those of you listening, you probably will never notice, but we actually have not done one of these in 3 weeks to the day. We had to take a couple weeks off. I moved, and Mr. Jay Clancy here went on a little field trip. Where'd you end up going, Jay?
We went to Memphis for 2 nights, New Orleans for 4 nights, and then, the crown jewel of the trip, we stayed in Carbondale, Illinois for the last night.
Ooh, They
Nice.
say that's like the New Orleans of Illinois.
Is that what they say? It is pretty far south. It smelled pretty bad. No. Just kidding. Sorry, Carbondale friends. It was fine. We didn't really do anything. We ate pizza, and then it looked like there was going to be a tornado, so then we went back to our hotel room, and we're like, seems like modern construction. We should be fine. Didn't ever hit Carbondale too bad.
I've had a good time at Carbondale a couple
Yeah.
times.
It's one of the best times I can never remember.
Yeah, there you go. Well, see, I never did that. I never went to SIU. So
I was there
like to visit friends or anything, or
because they like stopped doing Halloween and they would like kick everyone off campus because they had like riots. And then they brought it back for 1 year, and I was there for that year. Like I went down and partied, and then
they never did it
they
again.
never did
That
it
was the
again.
year they were
Yeah.
like, "Fuck this." Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like the same thing happened. Just like people were just flipping cars, torching shit.
Oh fuck.
My buddy Ray had the SWAT team incident down there. That was fun.
Oh god.
SWAT team incident.
Let's talk about it.
So he had this old 70s
Good
Malibu.
timer.
It's like a mid 70s, so it was like a full size Malibu, brown.
Yeah.
Your general POS. It's about 1993. And we were all at the bars on the strip down there, T-Birds and all those places. I think I can say that because I'm pretty sure it's out of business, but I know it's been a hot minute.
Yeah.
We can mention if you had a good time there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we all get separated, right? And Ray, for whatever reason, drove. The rest of us just walked uptown, walking back to the towers. No big deal. And as we're coming back, we see these lights everywhere. And we're like, what the hell's going on? Like, this is a big thing. There's people everywhere. There's lights everywhere. And we walk up, and there's Ray and Jamie with their hands on the car, and there's cops around them with guns drawn.
Ooh.
This is
Close to the mic.
and this is Carbondale. Okay, so it's not quite Leave It to Beaver, but it's whatever.
Yeah.
It's
And-
the sticks.
Yeah,
It's the sticks.
But it's like
Yeah,
you know,
big time.
everybody they got the gang's all there. There wasn't any helicopters, but it felt like hut and everybody's like rappelling down.
Right.
So they have them, and they're screaming at them. What's in the trunk? What's in the trunk? What's in the trunk? And we managed to get to the overpass, so we're sitting right above them, watching this whole thing transpire.
Those guys are fucked.
And well, yeah, I mean, and we're drunk, and we're like,
Yeah.
this is kind of fun, eating like a bagel from the little
Yeah.
Winston's Bagel Cart. I don't know if
Nice.
you've ever been down there. Winston's Bagels were great back in the day, but anyways, so Ray just started. He's like, I'm sorry. And we're like, he's crying, and we were all kind of laughing, right? And he's like, open it up. And he opens the trunk. He's like, I got 2 cases of beer. And the cop's like, what? And he's like, I got 2 cases of beer. And so the cops are freaking out. Like, so apparently Ray's POS Malibu matched a gangbanger driving by and actually shot somebody, and they thought it was Ray because he had
God.
I think back in the day we called him Ray Smoothie. And if you hear this, Ray, I apologize, brother, but he had like the straight vanilla ice color on the side.
Don't
It was
worry, no
93.
one's watching
It was
these.
glorious. But so, anyways, that was the SWAT team incident. Down in,
God.
down in good old Carbondale.
Well, it could have gone worse.
Could
Yeah,
have.
it
So they
could've,
felt
it
ridiculous
could've.
bringing out the SWAT team for a couple cases of.
That's why you
I mean,
never
fast
drive a
forward
Malibu.
now, he would have been shot 17 times. But
Yeah, right.
Okay.
No kidding.
I feel like they wouldn't bring the SWAT team out for one gangbanger either.
That's
Well,
true.
they
what I
probably
mean?
don't get to
Ignored
use
it.
it that much in Carbondale, so they're like, "Well, we got it.
Somebody
this-
bring the tank.
Yeah. Who knows how to drive this thing? Fuck.
That'd be a good episode for us. Like, let's swat one of the bars downtown here.
God.
I'm just joking. I am just joking. We're not doing that.
Asterisk.
Yeah, cut that out.
Yeah,
Mark
right.
that. Cut it. But yeah, how was the food on your trip, Jay?
Oh, it was fantastic, man.
Yeah, Memphis barbecue.
Memphis was great for
Some of that
barbecue.
southern New Orleans.
Oh, absolutely.
What was your favorite thing you had?
Fuck, dude. We went to the Napoleon House in New Orleans, and everything there was fucking fantastic. We tried a couple other places too that were really good. A couple oyster bars. The last day I was there, I ate too many oysters, man. More
I
oysters
don't think there's such a thing, man.
Yeah. Well, we went to one oyster bar, ate a bunch of oysters, and there was one across the street.
Let me ask you a question. How much was an oyster down there?
It was not as cheap as you'd expect because they're out of season right now.
Okay.
September through December is oyster season down there, so they have to import them from wherever. And they were decent oysters. They weren't like the best. They were good, but you don't get fresh oysters all the time up here.
So
places have them, but
most costly mistake I've ever made in my life was introducing oysters to my girlfriend.
Oh yeah,
now she
loves
fucking
them.
Loves them.
Yeah,
Dude, when I was in New Orleans, someone with the same first name and matching my description set some sort of world record and ate 30 dozen oysters or something. And we get on the train to go back to U of I because it was a field trip. They're all like, dude, was this you? And I'm like, no.
Oh, you should have taken the credit.
Yeah, right. I was like, yeah, right. I spent $500 on oysters last night.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it was. I just didn't set the record.
Yeah.
Yeah, some places were cheaper than others, but yeah, it was.
Not,
like I said,
it was
not cheap.
okay, but it was just kind of.
Yeah, we went to Acme and then we went to Felix's. We did the Royal House too for oysters. Royal House was really cool. Sitting at the bar, the guys shucking them right there. That's always cool.
Were you there one of the days the Conservation Jazz Hall was open? It's only open Thursday and Sunday or something.
We were for Thursday, but we didn't make it over there. We talked about it and we just had so much other shit that we
I don't even know if I don't even remember. I don't think they serve liquor there. I think you just go in and listen to jazz for a couple hours. But
Which
I went to the original
fucking dope.
Hurricane place too. Did you go there?
O'Brien's?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. It was we went during the day. It was slow and they do the piano bar thing at night. We were gonna try to make it back for that, but there's just so much to do. And we were only there for 4 days, which sounds like a good amount of time, but it's not enough. We got to go back 3 or 4 times to do all the stuff. We did a lot of the daytime stuff we want to do. We rode a streetcar, which fucking sucked.
Yeah,
it's like you know how awesome public transportation is. Imagine if it were outdated and more crowded. Nobody was barfing or smoking cigarettes on the streetcar.
Oh, that's better than
the fucking trolley.
I was gonna say
it's a streetcar.
that's better than the L right now.
System, man, it's a trolley.
You go to the L right now.
It's like an L that's really slow and made out of wood.
Yeah, right. Ashley was like, we could take this all over the city. And we did it once, and she was like, fuck that. And I was like, I'm glad we're on the same page.
We went to this cemetery that had all these cool graves and stuff in the French Quarter. But people had been vandalizing them, and what they do in New Orleans is they can't bury you normally because it floods.
Yeah.
It floods, and you would just float out of the ground. So they just put your bones on these metal pipes. And then once you rot apart, you fall into your family pile of bones. So people were kicking down the bricked up fronts of these graves, and you're walking through the cemetery, and there's dead bodies open, exposed. You could stick your camera phone in, and there's
who the fuck
corpses in there.
Yeah,
who fucks around in a graveyard? That's the scariest shit I've ever heard in my life.
Someone who's never seen Hocus Pocus.
Voodoo, they did the whole voodoo vibe down in New Orleans too. It's chances are that thing might just come up and grab your ass. And
right. Well, I heard a lot of shit about how unsafe it is too. We didn't encounter that at all. It didn't seem unsafe at any point. I mean, obviously, if you're in a town you're not familiar with, it's probably not smart to go out and just a group of me and we weren't out too late any night. Is basically what I'm saying. We didn't stay out past midnight because if it's an unfamiliar town, why would you? If it was a group of 8 dudes, it'd be different. But still, it was fine. It was great.
Yeah, I mean, as a rule of thumb, people generally don't fuck with you if you're just not being a douchebag.
Yeah.
If
you're obviously hammered, you might get fucked with a little
bit. Yeah,
bit.
exactly.
Because they're tired of that, I'm sure.
That city does have one of the highest murder rates in the entire world.
Oh yeah, it's
not just America.
It's one of the most violent cities in. Yeah, but I mean, I don't think
Chicago's
all that
not
shit's
even
happening
on
in the
a
French
list of top 50 in the world.
It's not the most
New
violent
Orleans
city in
is
Illinois.
number 5 in the world.
So in the fall, I actually had to do an event in St. Louis, and when we got down there, it was just named Murder Capital of the United States. I'm like, well done, St. Louis.
And all you got to do is cross
least they got something
the
now.
river and go to the Illinois side.
People
of that.
talk about Chicago, but Milwaukee actually has a higher murder rate.
Well,
than
yeah,
Chicago.
and Chicago's not the most violent city in Illinois. Even it's
No.
I think
Joliet
Joliet. I think
be up there. Decatur.
yeah,
East
Peoria's getting
St.
bad.
No, it's
Rockford.
Rockford.
Rockford's
yeah.
bad. There's a lot.
Well.
On the per capita scale, obviously more people get murdered in Chicago, but there's more people by a lot.
Yeah, I mean, but if you do the math,
Yeah.
it's not. Yeah.
All right, well, let's just stop shitting on Illinois for a minute.
No, the point is Illinois is great.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, boys, it is good. It's good to be back
Put a
here
stamp on that there.
Yeah.
doing another episode. Like I said, we got Chef Corey Grupe here with us. Chef, thank you very much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Let's do a little intro with you. Like, how long have you been in this business for?
So, my first job was in 1988.
Hey, hold on, someone do the math real quick.
Carry the
35. I got 35.
years.
35 years. All right.
Yep. So,
Take that, Patrick. Got it.
little place in Libertyville called Slot's Hots.
Oh, yeah.
Barry Slot.
Not there anymore, unfortunately.
No, he's since sold, but I still talk to Barry. Great guy.
Yeah.
Is that where Taco Bell is now?
No, it's the empty place before
Yeah,
it.
it's empty now. It's like next to the empty Midas shop.
Yeah.
Oh, it's still there, just empty?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew it was on that strip there by like the sheriff's station.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, the whole tough thing about that whole area is you can't turn left out of there, so nobody ever went unless you're heading north.
If you were passing,
It was
yeah.
it was good
Yeah.
stuff though.
It was good.
I used to go there all the time.
Barry
It
made
was
a great Italian beef, man. It was great.
Yeah.
So, but I was there. I've been all over the industry, honestly. I have.
How old were you when you that's your first job in the industry?
Yeah, I
right?
was 14.
14.
Yep.
In high school,
Yep, freshman.
just summer job, day job, or nighttime job, or
Yeah,
whatever.
weekends and nights and stuff. Ride my bike up there.
And what were you
What?
doing?
It's like, I started washing dishes, chopping onions, slicing the bread. Learn how, then you work your way around, learn how to do grill, hot dogs, register, blah blah blah. And actually, it's funny. Barry, one of the first things he said to me, and I tell this to people all the time, which is kind of funny. It's something that is like core memory instantly. Back in the day, was he looks at me and he's like, it's after a rush and the tables are all shitty and dirty or whatever. I need to clean it off. No big deal. And Barry looks at me and he goes, and I've known him for, at this point, 27 minutes. And he's like, hey, if you shit 3 times, how many times do you wipe your ass? And I'm just looking at him. I'm like, 3? He's like, yeah. So the customers shat on my tables. Now we got to go wipe their ass. And it's just something that I carry with me all the
that's a
time.
great
It's like a great core. You shit 3 times. How many times do you wipe your ass? Tell that to your bus boys.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, core memory. But
Otherwise, you start to get chafing,
Yeah.
Right.
itching.
things just don't work.
Next thing you got is an infection.
Yeah.
Yeah, no bueno. Yeah, walking all funny.
And the busboy's like, I'm fucking doing it. You don't have to talk about all this stuff.
So, anyways, at hot dog stands. I worked at Condell for a time.
Let's go right. So you're there for how long? Like all throughout high school? Or?
No, I was actually there for probably about a year, and then I went to Max's Doghouse on the other side. Worked at Max's for a while. He actually, the original owner, sold it. Andy Kokalis came in, great guy. I had baseball going on, so I was like, I need to stop working here, stop working there. Did baseball.
Did you kind of feel the bug, like, because like you are what I would consider a lifer in this industry? Like, did you feel the bug like right then? Did you kind of know, or
I had fun, and it's funny as I was thinking about like things that I did. I remember being 16, and one of the guys we worked with was Jason, and I won't say his last name. I don't know if he's still in the area or not, but anyways, he was a couple years older than me. So I was 16, he was like 18, and he's like, or I was, how old was I? No, I wasn't 16. I was 15 when I was working there. So he gets me out in his car, and he's got this old POS, and introduced me to Little Kings. Started drinking in there, and that's actually, started drinking.
What is a Little King?
Little King? It's like OE. It's like Little Kings. Is
Like
a
a little
beer.
40?
Yeah, it's like a 40 of that. So we were drinking that. And the funny thing I remember is he's like, I was a little metalhead back then. And he's trying to explain to me, he's like, and this is what you slam your head. It's like, on the cymbal. And he's like doing this. And I'm like, just 15. I'm like, this is fucking cool. And
Show me the ropes.
It's in the parking lot, where everybody can see us. I'm sitting there drinking a 40. And that's, at the time, probably weighed half as much as I did. Or as much, yeah. So, but so anyway, so I was there. And then, I kind of worked my way through stuff. Like I said, I worked at the hospital, worked at the dietitian's office at the hospital, worked in various restaurants. I've been
Did you, so after high school, did you go to like college or anything like that? Or
the funny thing was I actually wanted to be an FBI agent. I actually was taking law enforcement classes and stuff like that. I was hopefully going to be a Vernon Hills cop. And interestingly enough, they had a hiring freeze. I think when I was 21 at the time. And
were you working in restaurants this whole time? Besides, like, what were you doing at the hospital? Like,
so I worked downstairs. So at the time, I would work in the dietitian's office. So you came in, doctor sends down the requirements. I'd look at that. I put your food together, put that up, and send it up to you.
Yeah.
I would work on the line. I'd work in the cafeteria. I would cook.
So still in the food service industry.
Oh yeah,
okay.
yeah. Just like kind of like mass production.
Yeah.
But I mean, Condell wasn't as big as it is now back then. It was like, I think it was still technically Condell Memorial Hospital back then. So
yeah.
much smaller. But so I was there. But I've been a cook, prep cook. I've been a server, busboy, host, bartender, manager, trainer, chef, everything.
After the hospital, like you were kind of looking at like law enforcement and stuff like that, and you said there was a hiring freeze. So what happens to you after that?
So I kind of like bummed out. It's like, okay, well, they're not gonna be hiring anybody for any amount of time. So, I was talking to my mom. I'm like, hey, what do I do? And she's like, why don't you go to culinary school? And I'm like, huh? She's like, hey, you should think about going to culinary school. And actually, now I think about this, I was probably more like 23 at the time.
So is this?
So it's like 19
pre-Iron Chef.
Yeah,
because that was kind of the boom. Like when Iron Chef
yeah,
came out, that was like the boom. Everyone went. I mean, that's when I went.
It was, yes. Let's see. I was 23 and what? I was 1997. Iron Chef was great. Actually, Great Chefs of the World was really good too back in the day. And great chefs of Chicago. But so, she had mentioned that she's like, you've been working in restaurants your whole life. She's like, why don't you do that? And so I was like, all right, well, all right. So I applied and went to Kendall back when it was at Evanston.
Yeah.
And
Kendall's a great school. That's
a great school. Yeah. I was actually just there a couple weeks ago judging a Pro Star competition. So that was a lot of fun. Cool. Yeah. So went to culinary school and just kind of took off from there. And yeah.
So where do you go? Like right out of culinary school, do you get a chef job? Are you going to somewhere and staging? Are you on the line? Like,
so no, I mean, you graduate culinary school or you just go to culinary school. You're not going to be a chef, and don't let them tell you you're going to be a chef because it's a lie.
That's when my school got sued.
Yeah, it's like, you sir may fuck off. You're going to go work with that 16-year-old kid that's the prep cook, and he's going to show you how to actually fucking cook. And that's just the truth of the matter.
Yeah, I always tell people, like, when I actually didn't finish culinary school because I broke my hand.
Yeah, I didn't finish either. There's too much money.
There you go. And so I ended up, like, getting a job because I was in between semesters when my cast came off when I broke my hand. And I got at this job, and they're like, don't go back. We'll just pay you, all the stuff. Like, you'll the basics. Well, we can teach you all the detail stuff here. And about 6 months later, all my classmates were graduating, and like I was like, hey, like we can use this guy as a prep. We can use this person in Garde Manger, like just all that stuff. And they all owed another $25,000, and I was making more money than them. So,
yeah, right. And that's one of the cool things about the business, especially on this end, like the culinary side. I'm also I'm actually the vice president of the American Culinary Federation in Chicago.
That is right.
And so we are, trying to bring back apprenticeships where, culinary school is great. Don't get me wrong. You actually learn all the the basics that you learn, the foundations and everything. You take forever. Those actually are fantastic. But when you're actually in there,
I want to reemphasize that too, because it is like, how to break things down, your mother sauces, anything like that. I remember my first
mother sauces fabrication is huge.
My first month, we just cut vegetables and fruits, and they literally came around with a ruler.
Yeah,
and that's why I was always so good with a knife, was because of that.
Oh yeah. Sitting there tourneing. Nobody tourneys, by the way.
Oh my god!
If they tell you to tournay, it's a fucking lie. Nobody wants it.
I was so terrible.
7 fucking equal sides.
It's the stupidest thing in the fucking world. It's a fucking little baby potato, and you got to fucking peel it. I was so bad with it, and it that literally you just kind of re-traumatized me from back then, just with that little term right there.
I gotta ask what it is. So it's like
a little fingerling potato.
So you don't cut all the way through.
You turn it into a football. And you just kind of it's like a little quarter, like a little tiny turn. You peel it back. Boom, 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 boom.
So it's like got 7 sides.
7 equal
sides.
Like
fingerling potato.
And it totally separates, or it's
no,
it's like a blossom.
It literally it looks like a football.
So it's like
7 little sides. Yeah, and they're all perfect. And it's funny because you're getting there, it's like your knife is super sharp, and you bring in that back, and it's tapping your thumb, and you don't want to slice your hand. You're nervous slicing your hand open. And we had Chef Martini was his name. This is giant Swiss chef. He had 18-inch French knife that I will kill you. And he'd sit there and just rip these things out. Pop, 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 boom, done. Pop, pop. what's so hard? It's not hard. I'm like,
You've done it a million times.
you
Of course it's
sir,
not hard.
may fuck off.
Or I'd get like, and I'd literally be sitting there like 10 minutes on one of these fucking things, like trying to do it, and I'd get like half of it done, and then I'd like be like, all right, I need 3 more sides, but this side's half, like
Right. Or
fuck,
crack in half.
Yeah, and I'm like, I try to fucking, oh my god,
Terrible.
I hated
Or like
that
fluting
shit.
mushrooms.
Yeah,
Boop, boop, boop. Yeah.
that was the other one.
Garde
I was
mache.
I was terrible at that.
Yeah, yeah, not fun.
So like fluting mushrooms, you like take it and it like you make like a fan on the top of the mushroom head.
they're
And-
super cool. It's just
Yeah,
pain in the ass. And it's like you have to angle it right and
And then you're hoping the person who actually eats it
And you know-
appreciates it and is
Yeah, and
I was just gonna say.
Thanks.
I was just gonna say. I actually made that one time for a girl. She didn't notice.
It's a weird looking mushroom pop.
Yeah.
and that's why she's not here
I
anymore.
was like, that took me like 10 minutes for each one of those things. Like- oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get out of school.
Yeah.
Where do you end up?
Actually,
Or like what
with-
type of place?
Actually, I worked at a place with your sister,
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Copper Creek Grill.
Copper. Yeah.
Yeah, which is no more, which is sad. There's like that restaurant.
Is it still a restaurant? Because that was the place where
It's-
it just turned and turned.
It's
and
been
turned.
knocked down.
It's
and
not-
it's
okay,
now
it's like
now
part of
like
the park or
Yeah,
something,
it's
right?
a park
Was
district
that
or whatever.
by El Famous Burrito?
Yeah.
Yes.
And it was,
Yeah, I
it was-
remember that.
So it
place.
used to be. It was like
15 different
Hamburger
places.
Hamlet.
Yeah,
and
Hamburger
it was
Hamlet.
actually Chaffee's originally, which was the owner of Southgate Cafe and Bank Lane Bistro back in the day, where I also worked.
One of my good buddies' parents was a co-owner at Southgate. There was like 40 owners at Southgate.
Yeah, Larry.
My ex's family actually owned part of it too.
Oh, nice.
His name was Will Ross. His parents' name were Ross something.
I don't remember.
I
I
don't
worked
know.
there.
There
in
was
the-
a
I
t-
think
there was
I
a,
worked
I
there in
went to Lake Forest, so I knew there was like a ton of ownership over there. It was like,
I think I worked there in 98,
oh well,
97, 98, 97, maybe 98. I can't
this is
remember. It was
probably
a
like
long time ago.
2003.
So
Yeah.
are you're just working the line at this point, or
So yeah, so I went there to actually do an internship, and now here's the insert fucked up things that happen in restaurants. So I went there to go work with Patrick Bazin, great chef, and Patrick was there and Patrick quit.
yeah?
Fuck. And then John Hyvert, who was a sous chef, became the chef. John's a great guy, cool, worked with John. Then John quit. And they're like, hey, you're going to be the chef. And I'm like, no, I'm not. And they're like, here, we're going to pay you this. I'm like, I will be your chef.
Yeah. Right.
And then I think that experience, because I never finished culinary school, and I talk to my wife about this all the time. I had the biggest chip on my shoulder because I felt like I always had to prove myself. It's like I didn't finish culinary school, so I have to show you I know what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah.
I can actually throw down, and
It's
and so
weird too because
always
it's just
like-
that little piece of paper can just
right.
it justifies your worth or whatever, and it really fucking
It really doesn't. So, but what it did do is not having it actually forced me to just focus and try harder and learn and do everything I could to justify, to say, yeah, I actually know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I was there, and then actually went back to Southgate for a time, and then Christ, where did I go after Southgate? I left there, Copper Creek Grill. Then I went to what did I do? Oh, I worked for Convito Italiano, great Italian restaurant. Nancy Bressa-Barocci, incredible woman.
In the burbs, or
So there, it was in Winnetka, Plaza del Lago in Winnetka.
Okay.
Incredible woman. She was in Les Dames Escoffier. She opened up a ton of doors for me. Met a ton of people. So I was there, and then I just kind of bounced around. I went from there. I went to go work for. You're gonna laugh. But I took a job at the sports corner. Or actually, no, I went to the Claddagh Irish Pub. Was there for 6 months. I was actually supposed to be in Lombard. They never opened it, and so I was commuting from Vernon Hills to fucking Geneva.
Jesus.
Yeah, and it was like a mandatory 12-hour day. So 12 hour, like an hour there, 12 hours, hour back.
Like sleeping 6 hours a night if you're if you go to bed right when you get home.
Right. I was in my 20s. It was fine, but it was fucking bullshit. So anyways, ended up leaving. Left there, and I was like, I'm fucking done. Need a break. And so I went to the sports corner. Huge Cubs fan, by the way. I know you're a Sox fan. It's okay. I only root against the Sox 6
Go
games a
Cubs.
year. Yeah, there you go. Nice.
It's a little
So-
guy for me. Yeah. Now that I said that, and I give him my
Took a job down there, and actually met some incredible people that I'm still friends with to this day. And actually, the current job
Were you
I
just
have.
like still just on the line down there, or
Oh no, I was a chef down there.
you were
I was a chef. I had interns down there.
was that your first like chef job? Like,
Actually, I took over Copper Creek Grill.
Oh,
and
yes,
then
that
I,
would've
yeah,
been
and
your
then I took,
first one, yeah.
kind of went back and I did. I was a sous chef at Southgate Cafe. Then I was a chef at Convito. I was a chef at Clada. But so I did that. I was where did I go? After that, after Sports Corner, did a full season. And by the way, Wrigley,
Yeah, I was gonna say like
Wrigley was so much fun.
we're gonna get it deep into just Sports Corner alone. I think for a minute, like
it was fun.
maybe when we come back. But yeah, all right. So like you go Sports Corner.
Yep.
You're down there just for the one season.
I was down there for a season, a little bit longer. Yeah. And their fiscal, it's really fun. Their fiscal is actually April 1st through March 31st because it goes with the baseball season,
Yeah.
which is kind of fun.
Sure, that's all it is.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
All right. So then after Sports Corner, you end up.
I actually, so from there, I went back to cooking. I went to a place called Eatsy's. And so it was a giant market and bakery down at Clark and Diversey. When I went to go work.
Are you living in the city or are you living in the burbs?
No, I'm
at the
living in
time?
the suburbs.
You're in the burbs
Yeah.
driving down there? Oh,
Yeah. And so.
Which I mean, like for a cook, like honestly, like.
It wasn't that bad.
No, but I mean, like that's like the real jobs are down there, you know.
Yeah, well, exactly. There wasn't much in the suburbs back then.
Yeah.
Like Libertyville wasn't what it is now. And
Right.
Like, this whole area wasn't what it is now. So there was, you had to go to the city for work.
Yeah, I mean, there was a pop there for a little while where like you could be in a suburb and you were getting a lot of like guys that had at least gone to some sort of like culinary
La
school.
Francais, La Vichyssoise,
Yeah.
like those guys, yeah. Michael Maddox and
Yeah.
Bernard Coutier, and then you had all the guys in Highwood and stuff like that. Yeah.
And you know, just kind of, I don't know. I feel like that kind of pop, like with the staff, like the support staff, kind of dropped down a little bit on it, like over the last couple of years. But anyways,
So I was at Eatsy's, which is a big market and bakery. So I was there, and then after that, let's see, I left, and actually I went to go work for a company called Cozy. And so it was a sandwich shop. I was actually there for about 4 or 5 years, and it was cool because I was right next to the corporate office, and kind of wanted to grow with the business. David Utley, who was the corporate executive chef, still a friend. Guy's incredibly talented, and he's old school. He's 65 now, semi-retired. But he, it's so funny looking at his old stuff because he's, he went to Culinary Institute of America back in the day in the 70s. He was a minor league baseball player. He was a catcher. And the guy that replaced him on the team that he got booted off the team for, a young catcher named Carlton Fisk.
oh,
that's cool.
So, there we go.
So that's that. And then he also he was in culinary competitions. He actually beat Emerald in culinary competitions.
Oh, that's cool.
So he's got a cool story. But anyways, I was there for 5 years and worked with him, learned a ton from
Did he
him.
have a cool catchphrase like Emerald?
He didn't. He didn't. Well, actually, no, he did.
I don't think Emerald really had a cool catchphrase either. Sounds
No.
like
Actually,
he might
it was
have
one of the
taken
funny
that.
things. It's like when he didn't like you or there was something going on, he'd be like, yeah, she's got problems. And that was just his thing. And that's, his arms would go side to side and his big old glasses on. He's got problems. And that was kind of his whole thing. It was really funny. I'm like, okay, chef doesn't like you. So, whatever. But I was there and then, I'm trying to remember where I went after. Where did I go after Cozy? Oh, and then, okay, so left Cozy, went to Fox Nobel downtown. Fox Nobel was very much like Eatsy's, really high end over there in Streeterville. 19,000 square foot market and bakery, had 2 restaurants, huge grab and go program. We were
Nice.
wet aging, dry aging meats. We were doing all that stuff, making sausages. I think it was 100 things in the prepared food case, 105 things to go. It was a lot.
This guy's a fan of the dry aging of the
Yeah,
meats.
dude,
Yeah.
that stuff is really good. Well done,
Thank
by
you.
the way.
Yeah, you can't see it, but we've been nibbling on some homemade charcuterie that Patrick brought in.
Yeah, it's a pork loin, a pork belly, and a capicola.
Yeah,
I'm not going to get
It's
sick.
about
am
2
I?
years old. No, I haven't gotten sick from anything yet.
All right.
This isn't the dangerous shit. It's the salami. That's
that one you gotta watch. It.
that's the stuff you gotta be careful for.
Yeah. But so went there, and then after I left Fox Nobel, and then I was looking for a job, couldn't find a job, and then my buddy Tom, he was actually working for a small pub in the suburbs called Timothy O'Toole's
Oh yeah.
up in Gurnee, and just talking to him back and forth. I met Sarah Jr., the owners. I was like, hey, just looking for a thing. And so they brought me on as a consultant. So I go in and I consult, and then the chef that was in there was pissed off that I was there consulting, and they had these things, 101s. You mentioned it with Scotty, you're doing the 101s.
Yeah.
Well, that started back in Gurnee. So a 101 was coming up, and the chef's like, "Fuck you, I'm out of here." And they're like, "So you want a job?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And so that's actually how I started full time with them. Worked with them for a couple of years, and then I was burnt out, and so I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go do."
Yeah, I
something
mean, I
different.
worked with you there. You were working a lot.
Yes, pretty crispy back in Gurney, and I went to go work for a company called Stoller. I went and sold beer, wine, craft spirits. Learned a ton.
Oh, I didn't realize that. You
I
actually
am
left.
trunk liquor, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I did that for a couple of years. Learned a ton about wine, a ton about craft beer and spirits and stuff like that. And it was an awesome experience. Like, you know, I guess I have a very unique background in that I've worked for everything from fast food to fine dining.
Were you
everything
actually
in
going
between.
into individual like liquor stores, restaurants, like trying to like
Yeah,
get the sales?
I went and I got sales on premise, off premise. So I was actually instrumental in putting a certain place in Evanston, which I think we can say because Paul's super cool, but Few.
Yeah.
So I put Few into I think over 100 locations up the North Shore.
Nice.
But their rye, the few rye is fucking
It's
delicious.
stupid good. And
Yeah.
I've got a whole bunch of their old stuff. Like he made a Malort way back in the day, and it actually said Malort on it. It's like, oh, can't do that. So I have the Malort with a little Sharpie written over it, but it tasted too good. And
To
so
be
they're like,
called Malort?
yeah. Paul, you need to make it taste a little shitty. And
this
he's like,
seems to taste like
okay.
diarrhea, and you're not selling
And
it.
thank God no one's ever fucking
It's gonna
picked
happen.
Malort.
It's gonna happen.
Right, Malort. Yeah, for when you have to,
playing
unfriend somebody
Russian
in
roulette
person.
right now.
The,
Yeah,
house,
I have
the house's finest Jepsen Malort, please.
Every
I have a
episode we asked.
Few and Dark Matter collaboration coffee gin bottle at home. It's
How's that?
incredible.
Nice.
It's really good.
I bet that'd be really good.
They have good stuff. I have their Amaro too.
I have not had the Amaro.
It's good.
I've had a couple that like some of the new whiskeys they're doing. There's bourbon is good. You know what's really good is he used to make a white whiskey, and that white whiskey I guess there was a place in Oregon that did it with Bloody Marys, and
Like
that
a White Lightning?
white whiskey Bloody Mary, and it was just I guess they went through like 4 or 5 6-packs every Sunday. That's how much they were selling of this stuff.
Wow.
It was really really good. So I did that for a while, and then I had been talking to Saren Jr. I was like, hey, want to come back? And we worked on it for basically a year, talking back and forth. And we opened up Libertyville.
Yeah.
So I was in Libertyville for.
See, I didn't know you had left and came back then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So I was, I was always around talking to them if they needed anything.
Yeah.
So I was always available. And then we opened Libertyville, and you want to talk about working hours, brother.
That's what I was talking about. Like when I
Yeah.
was like, I'm like, I saw you like when we opened it, but yeah.
Yeah. It was fun.
I mean, like, what was your like when we opened up? Like, how many hours do you think you were putting in?
Oh,
Like on an average week?
80, 85. I mean, you were there.
Yeah.
80, 85 hours. There was 90-hour weeks in there, and it was just like, we were getting pounded.
Yeah. And those first couple months, I mean, when you're just playing catch up, like you're playing catch up literally from the moment you open.
Oh, dude, you're getting fisted from the get-go.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh my God. It's like we have to prep everything again.
Right.
And it's only dinner.
Yeah.
So it was fun. So I was there, and then the COVID hit.
Yep.
Got him through that, and and we actually did a lot of really kind of great things during COVID. I
Yeah.
think, and that was that was cool. But after it was all said and done, I mean, I was I'm not a young man. But I was like, I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
So enter Sports Corner. So back in the day, I worked with my buddy Brad. He was the GM. I was the chef back then. And we had always kept in touch. He came up with his wife and kids. They'd always go up to Six Flags. Probably going to have to break that. Anyways, whatever. Oh, let him sue you, dude. But anyways, went up to Six Flags, and they would come by O'Toole's, and I'd get to see him. So it's 2021 to summer 2021, and he gives me a call. He's like, hey man, anybody looking for a chef position? I'm like, me. And interviewed, want to do that. So now I am the chef for HMS Host, which is a huge company. And
Because
we
you're doing
run-
what, like airports now, right?
Yeah, we
Like-
run concessions in airports. So I have 58 restaurants at O'Hare that I run. It's not all of them, but it's a lot. It's everything from like 12 Starbucks, 4 Chili's, 2 Wolfgang Pucks. I've got a Publican Tavern. I've got 2 Frontera Grills. We have our own concepts. We have everything.
Little trivia for you. Who sells the most hot dogs in the world?
The Varsity in Atlanta, Georgia.
No, I think it's O'Hare Airport.
Oh,
Yeah, that's probably not wrong.
used to be the Varsity Drive-In.
I would say
Atlanta.
Portillo's is probably a close second.
Yeah.
There's another person that'll sue
I'm
us.
talking about like in one building.
Oh, one building? Absolutely, dude. You know what's
More
really
hot
fun?
dogs than anyone else.
I should give you a tour of the place. Like walking into our warehouse is just stupid.
I'm just seeing
I'm
the amount of
sure.
food that's in there.
It's insane, and it's literally it's insane. It just keeps you go into the cooler and it keeps going and going and going. You're like, and there's a hidden door here, and there's another fucking freezer, and then you open behind that, and there's another one back there. It's something to
Jesus.
behold.
And so like you're basically just in charge of all these places now.
Yeah.
Like you're overseeing what they're are you
Menus, training, food costs, purchasing. Like I've got a purchasing department. I've got
do you have a lot of delegation at least going on
tons
where
of
it's like so
delegation. I
you're,
actually
you're
don't-
just seeing
so,
numbers?
So we
and
are a
stuff?
union house.
Yeah.
So employees they've got great benefits. And they have they get paid very well. They got vacation time off. It's a great job. I wish I would have known about it 20 years ago.
Yeah, what, paid benefits? What?
Right. I mean, yeah, the bartenders there, they're doing just fine.
Yeah.
So are the servers. So everybody.
I mean,
is.
you
But
go
anyways,
become an airport bartender.
yeah. But
Thinking about it now, like actually, I'm like, I know I was there at like 7 a.m. a year ago, and I probably dropped about $300 and tipped $100.
and it's
Yeah.
packed.
Yeah,
And it's like
I'm not the
and
only
it's
one.
time.
socially
Yeah, I'm not the
acceptable
only
to
one.
be ripping shots at 5 o'clock
Oh,
in the
yeah.
airport
If you're
because
at the
nobody
airport,
gives a
yeah.
fuck. It's like,
Anything
oh, you're going to
goes.
Mexico.
Yeah.
Game on. Here comes the tequila.
I always would just be like, I'm scared of flying. Just
Right,
fucking-
exactly. Should
Oh, I
that be a
had like
segue, by the
3
way?
New England IPAs at 7 a.m. at Harry Carey's and a breakfast sandwich.
Yeah, there you go.
Fuck yeah, dude.
There's no rules at the airport.
Yeah.
None.
So we have all that, and then just because I'm a glutton for punishment, 2.5 years ago, we bought Bagels by the Book in Libertyville. Which, by the way, when you're hungover, you go in there and you get an egg fucking sandwich with fucking bacon and cheese or sausage and cheese, and you're fucking good
shit
to go.
is delicious. I do a lox tray from you for every family
nice.
party that I have.
That's
So,
good.
Oh,
lunch.
nice.
That's duck trap, dude. That's really good
I'll
stuff.
check out another one coming up on
Where's
Easter.
that at in Libertyville?
So,
Cambridge Plaza.
It's
So
like right across from like Condell there.
Yeah.
On 21.
Yep.
Okay.
Fucking delicious.
I'll check
though.
it out. Fuck
By
yeah.
where Rat Taco is now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right next
Tacos
door.
All Right.
Tacos All Right, yeah.
Rat Taco. They're
Yeah.
like, eat our tacos, and there's just a giant rat.
I was
All
gonna
right.
say, I think Ray means king or something.
Yeah,
It does.
Tacos El Rey de Oro. It's like
Yeah.
the golden,
Tacos of the Golden King.
the golden. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Raton would be rat.
There was a boot and
He doesn't
sombrero
care. He's
shop
stuck
in
on it.
Highwood called Mi Gallo de Oro. My golden cock. They had like 15 different colors of alligator boots and like all these different sombreros and like crazy leather vests and shit. Best store ever.
that's great.
Is that where you got your problem?
Yeah.
You got to wear some of that stuff next time, man. Don't,
It's good stuff.
maybe when we get video back, we can all take a trip down.
Great restaurant names. Salmonella's Chicken Hut. Come on in.
Oh God.
Holy shit. All right. Well, I think that is the end of segment 1 of this episode of the 4 Shots Podcast. We are here with Corey Grupe. Thank you very much for coming on. And this is shot number 2.
Cheers.
Oh, mine was big.
You're what?
Yeah.
Wow, that bottle is. We really gave that bottle the elbow
It's
drop.
a little one.
We're barely gonna get a fucking 4th shot out of that thing.
There's 1,800 here too, if we have to. I almost got.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with the 4 Shots Podcast. This is segment 2. We are here with Chef Corey Grupe, and you were just telling us a little story. I'm gonna have you tell it again, edit it a little bit.
Sure.
You know, leave out specifics, leave out, you know.
Okay. So,
But let's hear what you were just saying.
once upon a time, a wee lad at the spry age of 14 showed up to work. And when the wee lad got to work with his best friend, said owner was there, running around naked and howling. And the police were also involved, trying to figure why
what
said
time
person-
were you showing up at work at? Like,
It's like 8 o'clock in the morning.
okay.
And so, so said owner is howling at what he thinks is the moon, but it's actually the sun. Might have been a bit overcast, but it was still the sun. So that was a thing. And then we go inside to open it up again, opening the restaurant at 14 years old, and in the back we have this like amazing wood cutting board.
Like you walked in and this guy's just running around naked. Like, did he know that you
no,
walked
no,
in?
that was outside. He was running
that's
around
outside.
naked.
Okay.
That was outside. He was like in the drive-thru, like running around naked. And again, the police were already there as we're riding up on our bikes. So it's like strange things are afoot at the Circle K. And so we go inside, and said other person who's in cahoots with, Howling at the Moon, is underneath the cutting board, butcher board table, cowering and mumbling sweet nothings to I don't know anybody. And so that was a whole thing. So that was just like, God, this industry is amazing. I can't wait to be a part of it.
That was like the Bourdain thing. Like if you ever read it.
Great book,
he's
dude.
talking about.
Great book,
He's
Kitchen
working the
Confidential is
line,
awesome. Yeah.
and he goes out and he's there was like a wedding party or whatever that was going on.
He
and
goes out
goes
and shouts, banging the bride.
Yeah,
Whoops.
by the dumpsters, and he's like, "This is when I knew this industry was for me."
Yeah.
If this is the debauchery I just see on a Tuesday, like, yes,
Yeah.
I'll sign up.
Feed the bitch. Feed the bitch. Remember the whole sourdough saga? Feed the bitch. He's the greatest baker in the world, but he couldn't show up to work. He was fucking destroyed. Yeah.
But he would call him, let him know, like, come on.
Yeah. So you know how to counter that, right? So you're all fucked up. So all you have to do is take your liver out and soak it in a bucket of cold water when you go to bed. You wake up, put it back in, you're good to go. And then you got ethyl alcohol. You throw that in the car and you're good to go, man.
Yeah.
It smells everything. See?
Good to know.
Tips of the trade.
Wait, hold on. Say that slower. I was trying to take notes. It's like, take out my liver and
Soak it in a bucket of cold water. It doesn't need to be distilled, just cold.
Okay.
And just let it reconstitute.
I feel like we missed a key part of this, though.
Oh, removing it?
You gotta,
Yeah, that's the.
You got to be
that's
pretty good with a knife.
Well, I mean, I am, but
Right.
like I need the exact movements, time, stuff like that.
You're Irish, so I know you're okay. So you get it figured out.
That's how I'm good
I'll
at
show
a
you.
knife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dirty Irishman over here. I don't know if you've noticed my shirt. Pretty proud of it.
I dig it.
I'm a drinker, not a fighter.
That's right.
That's
Words to
fair.
live by.
Yeah.
A lot of people say that at the beginning of the night on St. Patrick's Day, and end up being both.
It's more like I'm a drinker, not a fucker.
It's like, all right, champion. You gonna throw me
Sorry.
out? I'm like, no, I'm not gonna throw you out. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have the police escort you out. Are you afraid of me? Nope, not afraid of you. Kick your ass. No, really, not afraid of you. Just afraid of the giant urine mark all the way down your leg.
Right.
I just don't want to touch you. So
Yeah, right.
this guy with the shiny badge is telling you, you sir can fuck off. and
Yeah.
go home.
But yeah, shit, dude. I was gonna say since we've gotten together, St. Patrick's Day has come and
It
gone.
has, dude. It's fucking April. What the hell happened?
Yeah,
fucked.
we got Easter coming up this weekend.
Yeah.
Which Jesus Christ, like those are in the kitchen. Those are the two worst fucking days in the
dude.
world. At least on St. Patrick's Day, almost everybody has a limited menu, so it's not like terrible to work it. But fucking Easter, being a cook,
Oh, buffets.
the worst.
Fuck, dude.
The worst.
Well, fuck. So 2 fingers, better make it 4.
Yeah.
Just right up there.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
You ever had to work like an omelet station on a
Oh, God, it's fucking terrible.
It's like all the people that are too snobby to
I-
go to a bar or
yeah.
eat out
I want-
most of the year come out for Easter. You know, it's like
Yeah.
roll grandma out of the retirement home up to the fucking table and
Oh.
order a fucking eggs Benedict and be a douchebag all Sunday.
Can I get 2.5 egg
Dressed
whites
like a gay
and
clown.
1 yolk, please?
Yeah. You're like,
You want a what?
Yeah.
2.5 egg.
you don't
whites and
fucking
one.
make that at home.
What's that?
You
What's the-
fucking
What do you
douchebag.
do?
Can I
the
get
other
an eggless omelet? What?
An eggless on.
It's fucking great, dude.
Yeah.
I'm sure we've all seen
Yeah.
that before. It's
Yeah,
fucking
that short
hilarious.
from what show is that?
I don't
some
know, but
British
it's fucking
show.
brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Egg, he's
And the
just
new
like,
server.
"Fuck?"
And he puts parsley on the plate, and she's like, "Gonna bring
There's
it."
an
And he's like,
eggless
"No,
omelet."
no, come back." I was.
Ask if they like egg beaters or egg white or whatever. Yeah. Oh God.
Are we out of it? Yeah.
Oh my God.
I
So what do you
can't,
have?
can't fucking really make it now,
What's
can I?
Yeah.
What? Oh shit. What is it? What is it? Yeah, breadcrumbs or whatever. I don't. We'll have to look it up.
Oh yeah, what is the second part?
Yeah. Then you just have she's like bits or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's like for fuck's sake.
Bacon bits, right? Is it bacon bits? No, it's not bacon bits.
No, it'll come to me.
Well, we'll edit this emptiness out, right?
Yeah, I apologize.
It's funny. Watch it.
All right, we're gonna go right from that to this one. what is like the most annoying thing being a chef? Like, because you've worked at every like style of place too. It seems
Sure.
like you've done the fine dining, you've done the mass stuff, whether it be like a sports bar in the city or not restaurant, a hospital or something like that.
Oh, I forgot. I opened up 8 restaurants for Culver's too.
Are you serious?
Fucking.
How did you fucking fit that in there?
Yeah.
So good.
No, it's
Jesus
good.
Christ.
Just timeline wise.
Craig Culver, amazing person.
Seriously, I
Is
think
that like a side hustle for you?
We're definitely gonna have to like have you come back on
Yeah.
for another episode, just because like we didn't
Or a couple.
like we brushed over like open a restaurant, COVID, like we brushed over that in the first segment. So like we're gonna have to bring you on to do 2 segments of just going through some of that shit.
Yeah.
But like, what is like the one like food order or request that you judge someone the most for? Where you're just like is it like a medium well done steak? Like
So, well done steaks. I get it. And there's been people who's like, I can get this same steak at bleep 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 restaurant, and it comes with a salad. I'm like, no, asshole. This is a fucking dry aged steak.
Right.
It doesn't need to be buried in fucking sauce.
Right.
It doesn't. It's a great fucking cut of meat.
Yeah.
You are getting a cutter steak,
Fucking steakums.
and
Yeah.
where like on its best day, it's going to be dry and shitty, and that's why they have to bury it under 4 ounces of fucking fake demi-glaze. By the way,
yeah.
Yeah.
knock knock, who's there? Powder, water,
Yeah.
and then maybe some mushrooms thrown in it, and then mashed potatoes with fucking gravy.
Yeah, like it's like McCormick's gravy mix,
Oh my-
basically.
I apologize, but
It's just real.
Just talking to you is like bringing back so many memories I suppressed as just like a line cook. I'm like, oh my god.
yeah.
But
So, can I tell a story from back in the day? Sorry, this
Tell
goes,
all
this
the
goes
stories
to one,
you want.
one of
All
the
of them.
asshole
All of
people.
them.
So, okay, so Copper Creek Grill. We had this amazing wood burning grill. We had 2 wood burning grills. One we did the steaks on. One we did chicken and fish on. Huge line. The restaurant was awesome, and honestly, to this day, and if any of them are listening, it's still probably one of the greatest assembled restaurants ever. People
like
that
designed.
no, people that worked at that restaurant went on to do amazing things in the industry. They went on to be directors of training for huge national corporations. One's one of the top sommeliers in Chicago
From Copper Creek.
from Copper Creek Grill. Yes. There's just there's a ton of servers and stuff that became chefs. There's just so many people have done so many places things there. It was amazing. But anyways, so oh fuck, I have 2 stories from there. But let me start.
Let's do them all.
So the first
Let's do them
one.
all.
So okay, so we're working and getting our ass kicked on the line, and this at capacity it probably sat 350, 400 with the patios. So you're just getting fisted on the weekend.
I mean, that's huge.
It's huge.
that's huge.
It's really busy.
And
it's-
how big of a line is it? Like, what do you got?
So I would have, let's see, I would have 2 sautés, 1 fry, a BLC who was the backline chef that ran the middle, then a grill cook, or 2 grill cooks, grill cook assistant that did plates and that set up as the other 2 were cooking the meats and the fish. I would have a prep guy going who was constantly cooking. He was pulling prime ribs out of the oven, doing stuff like that. And then I'd have 1 or 2 guys on garde manger doing salads and desserts, plus an expo, plus food runners.
Dude,
It's a
so
big-
not even counting Expo food runners. I mean, you're at about 10,
Yeah, it
12
was-
guys on
and
your
it was-
line.
Right. And it was banging.
That's a big line.
Yeah.
All right.
And again, it was a great place. I loved working there. But so in comes in order for a well done filet. I'm like, whatever, it's fine. We're used to it. It's like, okay, you want a center cut, fucking,
My grandpa
well done
always said,
filet,
well done.
and it's fine. I get it. And it depends. A lot of it's cultural. It's where you're from. It's how you're raised. It's what you were raised around. And normally I'm just like, okay, it's fine.
I feel like it was like with my grandpa, it was like he grew up poor in Chicago in like the 20s, and it was like,
Oh, you had to
Well,
make
yeah.
sure
You had to
your
burn-
shit was
Well, you
burned.
had to burn
you
meat
had to
or you
fucking
would
kill
get diarrhea.
anything in that piece of meat, or like dysentery.
What's
was
the
like your
what's
next
the
thing.
book when the guy goes the jungle?
The jungle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Upton
Oh my
Sinclair.
God, yeah.
One of the greatest books of all time. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why
It
the
actually
FDA's
made,
a
my,
thing.
it made
Yeah.
my buddy go vegetarian, by the way. And
Oh,
he's
sure.
still vegetarian. But
Dude,
anyways,
so many people say that. Like they're
Yeah.
like famous athletes. Like they're like, I read this book and I'll never eat meat ever again.
yeah, it's bad. Or it was back in the day. But anyway,
it's better than that.
I
So
don't know.
a little bit now.
Because I'm gonna say like there was also like probably about 10 years ago the documentary about the chicken farms that came out, and then everyone was like, it was just people kicking and stomping on chickens everywhere, and they're all over the place.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that was terrible.
it's hard to
The meat industry is way better, but it's still sketchy.
it's hard to feed
Yeah.
8 billion
Still
people
sketchy.
in the world.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
Totally.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to feed 8 billion.
I eat like 2 chickens a day. You know what I mean? Like,
and 2
they-
loaves of wheat dry toast.
yeah,
Can I get
but I'm
4
just
fried
saying,
chickens?
It's
some
like
dry
you
white
gotta have a
toast?
lot of chickens
Jake!
just for America.
Elwood.
That's fair.
Okay, so dude orders well done steak.
Yeah.
And we're busy as shit, so I'm not thinking of it, fire well done fillet. It's going. And 20 minutes later it's cooked because we don't, we're not going to butterfly it unless they ask for it, which is like cut it in half, open it up, cook it faster. It's like, no, we're just going to cook it. It's cooked well. It's a well done steak, but it's still a good steak because it's quality meat. Send it out. And honestly, I'm not even paying attention. It's gone. I don't give a fuck. I'm on to the next bazillion fucking tickets in the window.
Yeah.
Server comes back. Chef, what's up? Customer said it's not well done. Fuck, it's the last fucking thing I need right now. But it happens. You miss temperatures every now and then. I open it up, I'm like, it's fucking perfectly well done.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, we'll tell them we'll cook it again. Whatever. She's like, fine. Cook it again. Send out another filet well done. And I checked it. It's fucking well done.
Hold on. Let me ask you a question. Did you start brand new with like
brand new steak?
brand new steak?
Because it was cut in half, brand new fucking steak, no big deal. I like, you want a new steak, and he's paying
That's so generous.
Yeah, I was gonna say that is not a lot of places.
You were
go
paying for
where
it.
that goes on a
you were
sauté
paying
pan,
for it, and
they
burn it,
I'm
and
fairly certain. I'm fairly certain the dishwasher ate it, but whatever. But it's and I didn't care. It's fine.
Yeah.
But so make him another steak. We cook it. Want it to come out right. Send it out. And I know it's well done. I fucking tempted. Not something I ever do, but I fucking stuck a thermometer in there.
Just to make
Yeah.
sure
It's
this
good.
time, yeah.
Send it out.
You got a little ammo on your back if you
Comes back. Steak comes back. Server's like, chef, it's not well done. I'm like, it's well done. He wants to speak to you right now. I'm like,
Are you sure he does?
I'm like, okay.
I don't
So-
think he does.
So I go out and it's if I remember
I
correctly,
mean, my thermometer fucking coming out.
it was table 53.
Ooh.
So you had the fireplace right here, you had 30, 31, and you had like 52. It was table 53.
I actually kind
right
of know
here.
exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. It's like if the horseshoe was on the left
Yeah.
side, right over there, the middle table. So this guy's just a douchebag. And I will tell you why, because I walk out and he's like, oh, there's the asshole that doesn't know how to fucking cook.
That was his first words to you?
Loud. And loud enough that everybody, he has now got everybody from the raised dining area and everybody around, and he is going off. And
I
I'm
would have
like,
fucking front chest kicked this
well,
motherfucker.
so, hospitality kicks in. And remember, at this point,
Ooh.
it's already Stockholm syndrome. I've been in the restaurant industry way too long. I'm just like trying to be nice. That wasn't bartending. And so, yeah, you want a shot? Yeah, here's some fucking Malort. Fuck you. But anyways, so I'm like, excuse me? He's like, how fucking hard is it to cook a well done steak? And I'm like, sir, you ordered a well done steak. I cooked it well done twice. That was perfectly cooked. There was no pink. He's like, are you a fucking idiot? And I'm like, excuse me? He's like, are you a fucking idiot? He's like, well fucking done. Should be blood fucking red in the middle. And I'm like, well, I know who the fucking idiot is now.
Yeah.
And you, sir, get the fuck out of the restaurant.
Learn your
He's like, what?
fucking
I'm like, fucking
terms.
leave. But the funny thing is, when he said that, remember, everybody's captivated and watching this. Everybody started laughing.
Yes.
So I was like,
yes.
and then I threw him out.
I mean, like,
I'm like, go fuck
Eat
yourself.
shit,
I
buddy.
knew where this story
So,
was going.
so if you're
early
gonna
on
be if
because
you're gonna be a dick, you better be right.
Yeah.
without a doubt,
You
know
better
what
be
you're
fucking right.
talking
Yes,
about.
exactly.
Yeah.
So he was expecting like
Rare.
I know how to cook well. Like as in like I can cook
yeah.
good well. So it's like rare. But he ordered a well done
Sorry,
fucking
hold on a
steak.
second, I just got that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, and that's
what he
what
thought.
was going
Like
through
you-
his fucking
you
tiny
fucking better
brain.
cook this.
he
Yeah.
thought well
Well.
done meant done properly,
Yes,
Done very
exactly.
well. Fuck.
which
Yeah.
I knew because other people make this mistake. They're like, I want
Oh
my
my
steak
God.
done well.
Right.
They mean good.
Right, properly.
Not
You-
not
you-
not
are
on
you
the
fucking-
scale of
are you
rare to
British
well.
asshole? I mean,
No,
come on.
absolutely. That's how ignorant
This
people
is
are.
a real thing.
This
Yeah.
is a real thing. People think that like well done means done well, as in good steak, and don't know that there's a scale that goes from rare to well.
It was to the
and
point
that's how
where
you order a fucking
A
steak.
steakhouse I used to work at, they would
No.
have us say, if,
I can't
if
believe
we
you're
ordered well
surprised people
done,
are this
we would
dumb.
say
Cooked through.
cooked through.
Yes, cooked through.
Medium rare. You know, pink levels, the levels
Yes,
of pink
exactly.
you're describing back. And we caught people that way going, oh, no, I want it pink in the middle. I'm like, well, then you don't order it that way, my elderly friend. I'm sorry, almost always elderly. But
Yeah. So, yeah. But so anyways, that whole episode, after I was vindicated, I felt great about it, but then I was in the fucking weeds for like 2 hours because I was just fucked.
Yeah, you
not
missed
being
5
online.
minutes,
Yeah.
and yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so there was that. And then another great thing is back when I was a server there.
I didn't know this was a thing. Like I'm like my
No,
fucking
it's
mind
totally a
is
thing.
blown.
Steak temps
Like,
are the
That's a
fucking most. And people
huge
trying to do
thing.
plus or minus. Can I do medium
Medium
rare
plus?
plus?
No.
So medium?
Yeah.
Do you mean medium?
Medium
Because
rare
there's
is
no in
already
between, for a reason. There's a reason there are the temperatures
no,
that we
like-
offer.
like-
Do you want
that-
me to be like with it? Okay, so you want like medium rare plus like literally
Yeah.
0.75 of a degree. That's what you're looking
if
for.
I
that-
tell you how hot the grill is, can you
that's-
tell me exactly how long to cook it?
Medium,
Is that what
medium
that
rare plus
alone-
is an extra $50
that alone
because I'll give you that.
pisses
I'll
me
give you that
when
temperature,
people
but you're
go,
gonna fucking
when
pay
people
for
go,
it.
Yeah,
I want it
absolutely.
medium rare, medium. I'm like, those are
Pick
those,
one.
Those are two different
That's
things.
two different
Pick
things.
one.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
you have to.
Pick.
It's like there's
one.
I'm not
north
even lying,
and
my
west,
fucking mind is
and then
like
there's
fucking
northwest.
blown.
west, and then there's northwest, and you're like, no, that's.
And what happens when
that's
you
too
order
many.
medium rare plus is they cook it medium rare because they anticipate you sending it back, and then they can always bring it up at some places which don't do a whole new
It's
steak.
almost like if someone orders a martini and it gets sent back because they're like, this has vermouth in it.
right.
Like,
No shit.
So do all martinis
Yes.
ever
Fucking
until
martinis.
recently.
You
And
want
they're
an
not
extra
supposed
dry?
to be made
I'll
with
wave,
vodka.
I'll wave
you
the
fucking
bottle
idiot.
over the top, and now it's extra dry.
holy shit! Like,
Yeah.
like
It's like fuck.
it's like, well, I thought a martini was just going to be like the vodka. I'm like, it is if you order it that way.
Yeah.
This martini doesn't
This is your
taste
first
right.
fucking
What
martini.
doesn't
By the way-
taste right?
By the way,
Probably.
if there's no vermouth.
I don't
you
think
just
this is
order-
vodka.
I
It's
want-
because it's
I
a
want a
martini
glass of
and it's
straight
fucking
vodka.
gin.
Exactly.
Up.
That's the thing.
Up.
And I can
Up.
give you that. I can give you that. I can give you just the vodka, but like,
I want a vodka neat with an olive.
I want so badly for you to have what you want, but
We
you're
have the
not
technology.
letting me do that.
God. I can't believe I've never like run into that. Like that would have, I would have murdered someone for that one.
Yeah.
yeah, for
so
sure.
there was that. And
Like
so,
personally, I'm offended.
yeah.
Oh,
So,
absolutely.
so here is the next one at
Bad
the
enough as
same
well.
restaurant, and this was at table 32.
Hold on. I need a drink. like,
Fuck,
I'm so upset.
You're
Like,
like all
it took me a second
hot
to
and
get where
bothered.
we were going there, and I'm like Jesus Christ.
No, I knew when he was telling him about
Can
it.
I
'cause
get
I'm like,
can I
if
get
he-
a
if
New
he-
York strip shitty, please? Like what the
Once
fuck?
it's
Have the-
wrong, once
I
you
don't
know
wanna say
that's
have
what's
the-
going on because
ask
people
him,
want
ask him
burned
to
steak.
try this time. Like
Yeah.
I want a steak, but I want him to try.
Could you have the
a little
host
bit, but
cook
not
it?
Too hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Like,
No, after the first try, the guy who likes burned steak knows what burned steak is.
But even like
you know what I mean?
Like at first
I
I was
had a chef tell me
like-
to throw it in the fryer because he was so pissed off.
Oh,
I
I've
saw
seen
I'm
that,
like,
yeah.
yes, chef.
but even like
Like, I'm not
Actually,
gonna
good,
argue.
decent steak that way.
even
got a
like
great
when you were
crust on
talking
it.
about it, like I thought I'm like, oh, he didn't know what like a blue is, you know, like he didn't know what blue was
Yeah.
or something like
Or
that. Like,
Pittsburgh style. or
yeah,
whatever,
like,
get that
like
fucking
I didn't
flame
I didn't
soaked.
even hear it called Pittsburgh till you told me that.
Well,
like,
blue's blue,
Pittsburgh
but
blue?
Pittsburgh is like charred on the outside, like burnt on the outside, and like raw in the middle,
Oh,
which
okay,
is
yeah.
really good. It's a different texture, but it's
Yeah.
good.
yeah.
It is good.
And that's
Yeah.
and that's kind of like what I thought you were like going to say he wanted, and it's just like
yeah,
no,
there's-
this guy's just a
Fucking
fucking.
solid medium rare is what he was asking for.
I
He's
like
just-
it as rare as it can be without being mushy. I like to see the grain
Okay,
form.
so what you're
You
looking
know what I'm
for
saying?
is basically, and I'm gonna
Rare,
I'm gonna
but-
use this
Rare
word
plus?
that actually a guy I work with, and his name is Keon. He deserves credit for this. It should be rare enough. It should be so steak should be cooked rare enough that a well-trained veterinarian should be able to bring it back to life. And that goes to Keon. That was his line,
There's
and
a
I
guy
actually
that
agree
comes
with that.
in all the for prime rib. He used to say that
Shout
about
out to
prime
all
rib.
veterinarians.
Yes.
we have a family saying just walk it through a warm room first.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, exactly.
Set it next to the grill for about 8 seconds, and it'll be good. So okay, so there was that. So now we're on to the next story, and actually I thought it was table 30. It's actually table 54 because it's around the corner. But anyways, table 54.
Easy mistake to
I'm
make, man.
serving.
Yeah.
I'm serving. It's been 20 years.
Yeah, I don't-
So it's
Nobody's
actually
gonna
been,
call
it's
you
been
out.
over. It's been over. It's been 20, 25
I would actually
years
like
since
to go find like these floor plans and see what's actually up.
that. So here we go. So I go to, and this is during the .com era. So everybody's just like literally everybody has money. Everybody has tons of money. So this guy comes in, he's a salesman, and he's got two people with him looking pretty unimpressed, but whatever. He's this flashy guy, and he orders like a $70 bottle of wine, which in 1995, 1996, it's like really, I mean, it's like a $150 bottle of wine right now. So I go get it, bring it out, open it up, table service, pour a little bit for him to try. He takes.
Well, I'm sorry, like, you were waiting at this.
Yeah, I
you
was,
were
I was
serving.
waiting on the
Okay.
table this time, and so, and this is before I was cooking there, and so I open bottle service, whatever, you don't hear, give it a little try. He takes a sip. He's like, "Oh no, this is a bad bottle," and I was like, "Cool. I mean, I get it. Bad bottles happen. You know, it's happened. You open up a bottle and it's corked. No big deal." And so the guy's like telling me, he's like, "See, and this is why you can't trust places like this." He's like, "You know, I know I've drank enough wine. I know what I'm talking about." He's like, "You really can't trust anybody like this." And I'm like, "You're a fucking cunt."
Mm-hmm.
Don't say that. But I go back to the fucking bar and I tell T, who's the bartender, I'm like, "T, I'm like, he said the bottle's bad." I'm like, and he's fucking shit talking.
Did you open the bottle at the table? Like,
at the table in front of him?
yeah.
So I was like, "Yeah, it could have been corked." I'm like, "He says it's a bad bottle." He's like fucking shit talking us. And T's like, "What the fuck?" She's like, "Give it to me." Pours it. She's like, "Oh no, fuck him." She's like, "You saw the wrapper?" I'm like, "Yeah." Takes the cork, slams it back in the bottle. She goes, "Pull it out, open it up again." I'm like, "Heard." So go back and sitting there, and he's so busy being awesome that I fucking open the bottle. He doesn't realize it's the same bottle. Put it in my apron, pop the cork out again. Bottle service.
No.
He's like, "Oh, much better."
Shut
He's
up.
like, "See, you need to understand." He's like, "You know, you just gotta keep these things in check." He's like, "You just gotta know what you're talking about." And I looked at him like, "Yeah, just so you guys know," to two unimpressed guys, I'm like, "It's the same fucking bottle of wine." And I walked away, and they started laughing, and dude was just sitting there, ruined.
And
I
then
ruined your
obviously
sale.
You give the check to the other two guys? Yeah.
It was awesome. You know, I didn't care that I wasn't making any money on
Yeah,
that
that's
table.
fair.
I don't care. And he complained to the general manager, and John's like,
You got
Yeah.
caught.
Yeah.
You got caught.
"Yeah, called out." And
You
it's-
got caught.
I mean, I'm sure they made their stay brief after that. You know what I'm saying? At least they didn't
Yeah,
tie up
it
the
was-
table all night. They're like, "Oh,
They stayed
okay,
for lunch. They stayed
yeah.
for lunch. It was funny.
Did
He
he-
tried to run me ragged, but I wasn't having it.
Even
Like, no,
working,
you get
like,
one
be-
ketchup, asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah. Working at beer bars too, like you'll get that guy that tries to, like, he's like the beer snob dork who's better than you, you know, like,
Right.
and I'll be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, well, like this tastes like oxidized," and it's like, well, it's not.
Yeah.
So
See, when I have bad beers like that, and I've had a lot over the years of beers that I'm like, this beer isn't supposed to be cloudy. There's not supposed to be chunks in this beer.
right,
Yeah.
This beer does take oxidized, but like I said in a previous episode, I'm like, I'm just gonna be like,
on to the next.
yeah, on to
Yeah.
the next thing. Like calling them out doesn't. If it's really bad, like I got the bottom of the keg pour at a certain lazy place in Vernon Hills a couple of years ago, and it was like fucking
Not known for great service, but
it
anyways.
was like Humex. Like it was like a peach nectar. It was like a pour of peach nectar, and I was like, "This is not
just
the
all pulp.
yeah." It was
It's
so
brown.
and I was like, "I really hate to complain, but wow, can I have something else, please?" But yeah. Bad beer is like a lot of times there's nothing they can do. Like if they pour you one and it's bad, the whole keg's bad.
Yeah, like,
They got 150
well, that's
more
what I mean.
pours.
Like I just gave you 2 of those beforehand. It was the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
what to tell you.
Well,
Or like you get the person who's like, "You poured me Tito's and tonic. I asked for Tito's and soda." I'm like, it's Tito's and soda.
Hold
Will you
your
remake
nose.
It? Sure, I'll remake it and just do the same fucking thing over again. Like it's what
Yep.
the fuck?
Yeah.
I've told you guys my first martini story, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
what?
hard to take
But
complaints
it's a good
seriously
story.
knowing there's so many shameless people out there who will fucking shank you for an extra drink. They're like, "Yeah, this drink is wrong," and they like drank the whole thing already, and you're like,
I've had the
"You're a
one.
shameless douche. Like, hand me back the drink wrong when you first get it. Don't like chug it and then be like, man, this wasn't right." It's
I've
like,
had the Tito's cranberry where it's like, I don't taste any Tito's in this. And I'm like, "Oh, all right, let me make a new one." And I knew I poured in that one, and I'll just give you cranberry. and give you like the straw pour of the Tito's, where I just pour the Tito's in the straw, so your first sip is like, like
bang.
ooh. I'm like, yeah, you just got fucking 8 ounces of juice, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like,
Or
get the
pour
I
fuck-
hate it when
pour the
people
booze
say
first
they
and then
didn't
flip
taste
straw.
the
Yeah, get the
vodka.
little-
So
I'm
wait,
like, so the whole
Isn't that why you
point-
ordered vodka?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
The whole
It's because I
point.
know what I'm doing. Is why you didn't taste it. You're just gonna be hammered later. But whatever. You know. And there's the whole. That's the same person, by the way. Sorry, it's the same person. It's like, I'll have a Tito's and vodka.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see you. You okay, brother? You need a minute?
I literally had to take a 2-week vacation. I don't know if I brought this up before, but it's not the Tito's and vodka. Like, so, like,
Evan's turning green and getting ready to throw
no,
tanks across cities.
This is when I was like bartending, like
Goddamn
fucking,
Irish, man.
when I was doing like 4 fucking doubles and like 6 days a week bartending. And it was coming up in the busy season, you know, like all the college kids were back for Christmas and all that shit. And this kid walked up and he goes, I'll have a whiskey sours. And I go, so
Plural?
you want 2? And he goes, no, I want one. And I'm like, no, you ordered 2. And I started pouring them. It's like, I just want a whiskey sours. I'm like, it's a whiskey sour. You're saying whiskey. Like, and I just like, and I literally, like, the kid was just like, oh my God, what the fuck's going on? And I turned around and I'm like, I think I need next weekend off, man. Like, I was just like, I'm going to fucking murder somebody.
I'm not okay.
Like,
You good? No. Did you hear any of that
I literally
interaction?
spent like a week thinking about that, just being
This
like,
is why we hate people.
I
But
was going to
anyways.
kill this
This
kid.
is like in What About Bob? He's like, I'm going to be out in public. And I'm going to have no place to go. And my bladder is going to explode.
Dude, I literally like I felt terrible because like the kid like was like, oh shit, like, you know, like he like didn't say anything back. He was just like, oh, I'm getting the fuck out of here. And I'm like, all he said was whiskey sours. Like,
Yeah.
I lost.
It doesn't
my
fucking matter.
I lost my shit. I'm like, you want 2? You're ordering 2 of
It's
them.
like so
Well, that's how you
unrelatably
order.
not annoying. You're just like, that was it.
But it was just like the end of a fucking long night of a long week of a long
I had one of
month.
those.
It's a straw that
Grace
broke the
Lake days.
camel's back.
I was
Yeah.
bartending, Grays Lake days, right? And there's 2 bartenders back here, whatever. But this, you know, it gets like 4 or 5 deep here, which is physically impossible, but people make it work. It's fucking insane. And there's lines on lines, and then they're just like, you know, and this. I finally get to this couple. They've been waiting. I'm like, thanks for your patience. And they're like, yeah, no, you're doing great. Can I just get a Tanqueray and gin? And I was like, a Tanqueray and what? And she's like, a Tanqueray and gin. I was like, those are both gin. And she was like, I'm so sorry. And I was like, no, what do you want? Like, I'm like freaking out, and she's freaking out now because she's like, oh my God, I pissed this guy off. And I'm like, no, I'm just amped up right now because I fucking have to be. What do you want? And she's like, she got 2 Miller Lights. She panicked.
I'm gonna say, God bless her for
Yeah,
that. And God
she
bless
panicked.
her.
And she was like, I can't think
Just
fast enough.
bailing.
I can't think fast enough.
You know what,
2
ma'am?
beers.
I've got one of those for you. Because God bless.
Yeah. No, I
Oh
covered
my
it.
God.
I was like, these are yours. Have them. I'm sorry.
Jesus Christ.
They came in like a week later and they were so cool. They were like, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. And I was like, don't be sorry. I should be sorry. But like,
Yeah, as
Fuck.
great as it is to be impatient with people to deserve it, sometimes you're impatient with people who are just kind of like timid and you're
in the
just
wrong
like,
place at
"Oh,
the wrong time. Yeah.
Sorry, I was revved up.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Here's a beer.
I've done that so many times, especially here. Because like you're kind of encouraged to be a little bit of an asshole when you bartend
Well, it's
here.
not- it's not only, like-
It's just the look
It's
of
not
this
only-
place. You should be an
But just
asshole.
Yeah.
just on certain nights, even like a Black Wednesday, yeah, dude, where you're just going down the line, like, what do you want? What do you want? Like, you better fucking have it ready and all this shit, you know? And
Right.
It's just, you don't know what's fucking popping.
Right.
But all right, let's keep it moving. I got one thing I want to bring up here
Yep.
in a little segment we have done, I think once, and this is, hey, did you hear about this shit? So, Newport News, Virginia. 2 inmates in a Virginia jail used primitively I can't even talk around. Primitively made tools to create a hole in the wall of their cell and escape, only to be found hours later at an IHOP restaurant, miles from the jail.
Yeah. I read about this. I'm like, you get out of jail and it's like, you
And
want to
you
hit
go
the
to-
strip club or the gun range or do something. And they're like, no, IHOP, bro. We're going to IHOP right now.
Now, here's my question. Like,
Some serious pain.
do you
Yes.
think they just figured we got to fucking blend in at an IHOP?
Yeah, right.
Like these guys saw a world star.
I wonder
and they're
how
like-
many miles is miles from, you know, if it's 5 miles away, it's like you guys should have kept going for a little bit longer,
Yeah.
you know?
All right. So here's the other thing. You escape from jail. You're on the run. You're fucking, you know, going through the fucking marshes like in The Fugitive, you know, swimming through lakes, running through forests, all this shit. First restaurant, fast food place you hit up. What is it?
Oh, IHOP. No. No question.
I mean, I would
Shit.
think Waffle House.
That's
over
a
that.
tough decision.
Waffle House.
Man.
Yeah, where am I incarcerated and what's
I mean,
close, honestly?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
just
like,
I'm a fat
like
guy.
Rally Burger, In and Out. Are we talking?
yeah,
you know,
you're just based on the information you give us. The most
Jersey
obvious
Mike's.
answer is Waffle House
Yeah.
because you're escaping prison.
Right.
So
I'm
that
escaping-
makes sense. Second most
right in.
obvious answer would be White Castle, you know. But then
Love
I mean,
the White Castle.
to be honest, I mean, my first if I have to eat fast food, it's gonna be Culver's.
If-
Just
all right,
for
so,
me, like
so that's my Midwest version.
Yep.
If I'm West Coast, you know I'm running straight
Jack in the
in and
Box.
out, in and out.
In and out.
I've never had Jack in the Box though.
Either way.
So.
they used to have them here, but then this thing happened and they had to leave most of the country.
Yeah, that was in the Pacific Northwest. Yeah. Oops, we broke everybody.
Yeah.
But in and out, like that's where I'm running. Like if I'm on the West Coast, like if I'm bringing out San Quentin, if I'm down in Joliet or Statesville,
Dude,
Culver's.
I went to In-N-Out in Colorado that they just
Yeah,
built
the new
in
one.
Thornton, and it shares a parking lot with the Raising Canes.
Ooh.
It's like a weed vacation to Colorado. It's like I'm gonna fly to Colorado and do legal weed, and then go to the combo Raising Canes.
Here's the thing though, if you break out of jail and you go to either Culver's or Raising Cane's, they're probably gonna fucking arrest you waiting in line for your goddamn food.
They know where you're going.
You'll never get there.
You're just stuck at the
Can I at
drive-thru. You
least
don't
get
even
my
get your food.
payoff? No.
Yeah. You don't even get anything on the end of it. You're just like, yeah,
It's like 40 minutes.
missing my Texas toast.
Dude, the Texas toast is such a fuck you to fat people at Raising Cane's. I'm like, this is the most unnecessary item in fast food. And they're like, hey, fatty, you
Dude,
want a
if you did-
500
if you-
calorie slice of
If you dip
brioche?
it in the cane sauce, it's so good.
Yeah, but they just know I can't say no. It's totally unnecessary. They're like, hey.
Or do like a French fry fucking like tender sandwich with it. Like, oh, it's so it's the
It's
shit.
good. It's good. I'm just saying it's unnecessary, really.
I've
Never had Raising Cane's.
You never had canes?
Nor have I.
It's so good.
They
You
open
know
one in
what?
Gurnee,
You
but
know
there's
what
always a
stands
line.
out about Cane's is chicken properly done. It's not overcooked, so people
Yeah.
it blows their mind when they first go because
Right.
you eat it and it's fucking juicy the
The
way
only-
chicken should be, and you're like,
What if I
holy
told you you
shit,
didn't
they
have to kill chicken?
Yeah. The only thing is like that line, like really is, but it's
Go to
I
the
don't know.
Gurnee one on a Monday, bro. You may in and out in 10 minutes.
Can I tell you there's another chicken place that everybody loves and I am just not a fan of?
Popeyes.
No.
Oh,
Jake
the other
Popeyes, the other one.
one. Yeah, the one closed on Sundays.
Yes.
See, I fucking think they're good.
Ah, dude, I've
It
not
is
had a good
good.
one.
I
Not
mean,
a fan.
You know
they're,
what was
they're
great?
filled with
Fucking
hate
Brown's
and
chicken.
flavor.
Brown's
It's on the
chicken back in
boycott
day.
list.
the
I
shit,
like
yeah.
it. It's not
When
the
there was one
best
in Round
ever.
Lake,
Browns,
Brown's chicken, baby.
dude. Ever since the massacre, you can't find Browns.
I know, right? It's
No, the one in
terrible.
Round Lake lasted for like another 15 years or
yeah.
so.
There was one in downtown Liberty forever,
Seven
dude.
people get killed, and
There
Yeah,
was
there's one
one
walking
in
east, right?
Highland Park on 41 for
Is there
years.
one
Like if
Well,
anybody
I'll
had
too.
deserved the death penalty, is the asshole that killed the people at Brown's Chicken because he fucked all of us,
Yeah.
and that's just
Yeah.
not cool.
Yeah.
he
Brown's chicken's
he got
good.
caught because he broke up with his girlfriend, so she tailed on him 25
Right.
years.
And then like his DNA was on
You know,
chicken bones that he
no
gnawed on
fury
while he was
like a
there,
woman
threw in the
scorned.
garbage.
oh my god!
I think
chicken's
Browns
that
is
good,
really
man. You
popular
forget
around
about
here because it
forensics.
has less seasoning to it. You know, you don't want to get too spicy
I
with
did
the
KFC. It's
too
all right.
spicy with the paprika
Popeyes up
and
in Lake
everything.
Geneva.
Dude,
Doesn't suck.
Popeyes anywhere is the
Yep.
shit. I fucking love
Oh, you're talking about the
Popeyes
seafood place.
The
in
seafood
Lake
place
Geneva.
up in Lake Geneva.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
does
didn't
not
even know
suck.
about that. I just,
Does not
Popeye's
suck.
chicken is just fucking good.
Popeye's
No,
chicken's amazing
Popeye's
too.
chicken is good.
Yeah.
I
That's the
had
Lil Nicky quote.
I had my Eagle Scout
Popeye's
catered
chicken.
by
That's the shit.
Popeyes. It was amazing.
Nice.
I remember coming out and I'm like, oh, did you get red beans and rice? And they're like the big unveiling, and it's like a fucking 6-inch deep bus pan of fucking red beans and rice. I was like, holy shit.
Yes, we got
My
some.
parents went all out.
All right.
Amazing.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of segment 2, which means it's time for shot number 3. We are here at Charlie's Tavern in the heart of Grays Lake.
Sure.
Heart of downtown Grays Lake, Illinois. My speaking goes not so well at the end of these.
You're doing great,
You're-
man.
Yeah,
Thanks,
you're
I
good.
appreciate it.
You're good.
Chef Corey Grupe, thank you for coming on.
Thanks, guys.
And we
Good
will
stuff.
be back with the third segment
All
here in
right.
a little bit. Shot number 3.
Cheers.
What
Wow.
up, dude?
I'm pretty drunk. We've already. I'll take a real shot too. Like Evan was giving me a halfie, but I want a wholly.
Say when.
Say when. Great movie, by the way.
Okay, when? Yeah, we
See,
actually
good
talked about it.
Tombstone?
I think we've talked about it
Say
2 or
word.
3 times in the podcast already.
Dude, who doesn't love that? Dude, fucking Val Kilmer is awesome.
I got drunk the other night. So it was on Peacock for free for months.
Live on
You
the
said
cock.
Peacock.
And I watched it a bunch of times, and then I went on and it wasn't free, and I was like, well, now I'm committed and I'm paying $4 to watch it on Amazon. Because I had to watch it. I mean, I wasn't
Here we
gonna...
go. Here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for segment 3 of the 4 Shots podcast. My name is Evan Rafferty. With me, as always, is Jay Clancy, Patrick Whistler, and today our special guest was Chef Corey Grupe, and
Still is, but whatever.
it still is.
What are we gonna do to him?
I want to bring up something that happened to me and Mr. Whistler the other week.
Uh-oh. I'm going to sound like such a Karen.
Ruh-roh, Reggie.
It was very funny, actually. Though, 'cause, like, all right, so I'm bartending in the morning. I had a bartender that was out because of an injury, and
Boom, gravity.
yeah, let him know. And so I was bartending in the morning. Someone had to manage for me, and then I had the night off. And so afterwards, I'm like sitting there having a drink, having a shot with Patrick, and he orders a pizza, and out it comes, and this pizza is pie cut. No request for the pie cut. Just ordered his normal was sausage and bacon or whatever, extra crispy.
Was it Domino's?
No, it's at Finn's, and for some reason, and it's not like a small, like our small always comes pie cut. It was either medium or large, but they gave him pie cut.
I only order large pizzas. I think I discussed this previously. I haven't ordered any small or medium pizzas in 20 years. But my first...
He doesn't believe it.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense.
That's fair.
Logistically, it makes no sense. So my first reaction was like, am I on fucking candid camera? Like, I'm looking around like, these people are fucking with me,
What was
right?
your first reaction?
Like, what the
Like,
fuck?
oh, they cut it wrong.
He
whatever.
literally looks at me and he's like, "Did I piss someone off?"
Yeah, I was like, what did I do to you guys?
Did I black out last weekend?
I was like, I didn't think I was that annoying. Fuck.
No, but the funniest part was like, there's like 4 of us like around you, and we're all like, all 4 of us were like, we prefer pie cut. Like Dustin was there, and Dustin was like, yeah, no, I'll take the pie cut too. Like everyone wanted pie cut, and you're like, no, it's tavern pizza. It's supposed to be squares. And the funniest part about this too is like that next week, I probably had 3 customers that actually ordered pie cut, and it came out squares. So I have no idea
I just
why they just were just like, we're gonna fuck the one guy that actually cares.
Sounds
Okay,
like
so-
your pizza guy's a little bit of a silly goose, huh?
Dude,
You know,
I'm not
just fucking with
so
people.
married to Tavern Cut that was the thing about it. It was just like I go to Mickey Finn's every Sunday and order a pizza every Sunday, and not once in 5 years has ever come out pie cut. And to my credit, I just picked it up and ate the whole fucking large pizza in 20 minutes anyways, right? But I was just like,
to your credit.
To be fair,
I was just like kind of like, first of all, I have a sentimental attachment to those tiny little triangle pieces
Well,
that
you
come.
have 12
There's
pieces.
4
You have 12
per.
pieces
There's
instead
4
of
per
36.
tavern
It's a
cut.
big- it's 36 pieces of enjoyment versus
Yeah, I got
12.
screwed. I got 1/3 of a pizza.
All right, but let me
you
ask you.
said it.
Let me ask you guys. And like Corey, you being a obviously a food expert at being a chef, like, are you a square or a triangle pizza guy?
Chicago man squares.
Jay?
yeah.
Okay, so here's my story.
I had one last night, as a matter of fact.
I opened a pizza place out
Yeah,
in
me too.
out in Colorado,
Italian
right?
style beef jardiniere.
Fuck yeah.
That's a
That's
good
the way to go,
Yeah.
dude. If they got
I
hot
used to love
darn
Rita Pia in Mundelein. You know
Yeah.
Rita
Yeah,
Pia?
yeah.
Used to love that
That's
place.
great.
Their Italian beef
It's also-
with was mwah.
That same place is now Tony Cannoli, and his shit is good.
Yeah, his
Really?
stuff is
I've heard good
ridiculous.
things.
Pizza?
I've heard good
No,
stories.
it's
Yeah.
cannolis.
Totally
Yeah,
cannolis.
right,
Awesome.
just
You should get him
cannolis.
on here, 'cause
Cannolis.
that dude
I
gets
thought
those
I
shit.
thought you were
That guy
just
throw down.
throwing out
And
like
he
a
always shows up
stereotypical
Cannolis.
Italian
Yeah.
name.
You get one. You get one. And you get one. It's like
They're
His name
really
is Tony
good.
Cannoli, but he doesn't do desserts.
What does he do? Dry wheat toast.
No, I thought it was like, Tony Cannoli, Tony Bologna, Tony
Joey Bag of
Spaghetti,
Donuts.
you know.
But no, so I'm out in Colorado, and I open up this pizza place, and I honestly don't really know what I'm doing. I just steal this fucking recipe from a guy from Naples that I used to work with, and I hire a dude who knew how to make pizzas. Like, and we did the whole thing where, you know, we weren't rolling them out. We were slapping them around, doing them Sicilian style. We had a big window where you could come see it. We actually started doing a little pizza flare.
Pizza?
We did a little pizza flare where it'd go behind your back, you know, in between the legs, all that shit. Like it was pretty funny. But when I was
pizza,
when I was opening it up, one of my regulars was a dude from the south side of Chicago who lived out in Colorado now. And like I'm bringing the pizza up, like we're testing out recipes and stuff, and I'm bringing it up to all the regulars, like try this. And he like when we got the one that like we ended up doing, he's like, it's really good. It's like it's not Chicago style. I'm like, no, it's like Neapolitan, you know, like it's East Coast, like that's what we're trying to do. And he goes, just cut it into squares and tell them to fuck themselves.
Nice.
Fuck yeah.
But all right, let's keep going on this list here. I got a list of like 20 things. I think we went through like 3 of them, but this is only the 4 shots podcast, sometimes 6.5 shots podcast. One thing we talked about before we did this that I want to get into is like, I've seen some wicked shit in the kitchen. What is the worst like injury you've seen like happen in a kitchen?
So, worst injury. Okay, so there's 2 that come to mind. The first one was actually was they were both bad, but the first one was like legit serious. And it was I was a sous chef at a place in Lake Forest, and the other guy was also a sous chef in Lake Forest, and then he was there at night, and his day job was at another place. And I was working, you know, our chef, who she's a very talented chef. And so Chucky comes walking in, and, you know, he's always happy, he's always smiling or whatever, and he comes walking in, and you just look at him, something's wrong. Something is incredibly wrong, because there's no color in his face. Like, what, dude, what the fuck?
Because
like, Chucky,
of a lack
you
of
okay?
blood?
And we're trying to talk to him, and he's in shock. And we're like, dude, what? Hey, are you okay? Like, did he take something? Is he on something? You couldn't figure it out. And he looks at us, and he just looks down at his feet. And we look down, and his shoes are completely melted, and the skin's gone, and we can see bone.
Holy
So
fuck.
he was carrying balsamic reduction, which, if you know what balsamic reduction is, it's literally fucking napalm. It's napalm. It hits, it burns, and it keeps burning.
Yeah.
And it's
so
also delicious.
He was carrying it, from what I understand, the handle snapped on the pan, it dropped on the ground, and all that balsamic hit his shoes, melted the plastic of his shoes, his clogs, went through his skin and everything like that. The chef there, not going to say who it is, wouldn't let him leave, wouldn't let him go to the hospital. You can see bone.
Yeah, dude. Like,
and so he worked the rest of the day like that in complete shock. And he came into work with us. And when my chef saw it, I thought she was going to go over there and literally murder the other chef. We took him to the emergency room. He missed weeks and weeks and weeks.
so he worked the night
The
like
skin-
that it
skin
happened,
was-
and then
skin was
showed up the
gone.
next day.
No,
Not
he
even,
worked the day
No,
job, and
day
it happened at the
job,
day
and then
job,
it came
not
out
where
at
he was.
night.
working
Oh,
with him.
okay.
Yeah, and he came in at night.
Okay.
So we don't know exactly when it happened, but the skin was gone. The flesh was gone. It was unbelievable. It was terrifying. So that's probably the most grotesque thing I've ever seen.
Can I ask, like, are his toes also there? Did he?
They were able. Well, it was like basically. So like your toes are here.
Yeah.
You know, your ankles here. It was like that middle area, that middle pad between toe and ankle, that
Ew,
was
that's the
just
top. Yeah.
melted.
Oh god.
It was horrible. So that's probably the worst thing I've ever
Yeah.
seen. And it's not funny. That's just like legit,
No,
like
that's fucking
shit that
terrible.
happens in kitchens that
People don't think
Totally.
about.
exactly.
That's bad. That's
especially-
hot stuff and
especially-
acidic
he wanted-
stuff.
he would-
Yeah,
recovered,
especially
he was
because
fine
these
and went on
people
to do his
don't
thing,
have
but yeah.
health insurance,
Right.
either. Like so.
Well, the whole
just,
thing
you
was
know.
like it was workman's comp,
Yeah.
and the place that it happened at, like I said, our chef went fucking ballistic. And after it was all said and done, she went over there, went fucking nuts, and that place just paid for everything.
Yeah.
All the rehab, all the surgeries, all the other stuff.
man,
It was
that's
bad.
fucking terrible.
Well, at least good thing
Yeah.
that your chef fucking said something.
Yeah, she went nuts.
I saw a kid trying to clean the filters, like on the air vent on the duct,
Mm-hmm.
and on the hood, and stepped on a cookie sheet that was covering the fryer. Put his foot right in the fryer.
Oh God.
We had to peel that shit off. Oh, luckily, it was bad. It was like 3rd-degree bad.
It was bad.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it didn't go to
Legit bad.
it didn't go to the bone. But man, we ripped his boot off, and that boot, as they're ripping it off, was melting. I was just
Oh,
holy
fuck.
shit, dude! That's brutal. What's
Deep fryers are the scariest thing in the world.
what's the worst injury you've had happen? You ever just is it a bad cut? Is it a burn or something like that?
I mean, I'm always careful. I've sliced my hand open. I can't tell you how many times I have. You can't see them anymore, but my body okay, I'm just gonna absorb the burns.
Yeah.
Now.
So
There's
that was
been
always
so
my
many burns and things. Nothing. I mean, knock on wood. Nothing ever crazy traumatic that I've had.
that was my thing was I never really cut myself, but I burnt the shit out of
Burned the
myself.
shit out of myself.
Oh,
I
yeah.
cut myself on a mandolin, and that.
Ooh, that'll take your fingertip right off. Yeah.
Alex, I'll take things that
Can't
suck
even
for
fucking look at
1,000,
those
please.
things,
man.
Yeah.
I saw a kid take his fingertip off with the Euro slicer. Just-
So, I mean, there was another accident I saw that was, we'll just call it the Rogelio thong incident.
Jeez.
So, Rogelio.
Sounds top secret, man.
Rogelio was one of my prep cooks 20 fucking years ago, and he was 16. And there's a reason you have to be 18 to use the fucking slicer.
Yeah.
So, the restaurant we're working at the time, my wife she was my girlfriend, and she was the operations manager. I was the chef, and we had the restaurant, we had a little prepared food case, we had a wine department, actually one of the top wine departments. It is the top Italian wine department in the country, certified by Italy, serving the best Italian wines there. And then we had a huge charcuterie case. It was awesome.
Patrick just got a boner.
Boing.
Giggity. So, there's a bunch of, well-met Winnetka girls that are all very cute and whatever. They're all high school girls, college girls working there. Rogelio, being 16, he'd have to take, some of the charcuterie and bring it up and slice it to bring him back for the kitchen line.
Of the gabagool.
Yeah,
So-
gabagool,
One of the girls is in the prepared food case, and she's leaning in, and her thong is hanging out. And Rogelio's, 16, he's like, "Oh yeah," and he's slicing, and he doesn't even realize that he cut himself. And this is an electric slicer, and I'm in the kitchen, and I just hear screaming, and I'm like, "What the fuck is going on?" And I come running out, and the wine room lady, I won't say her name, she is screaming bloody fucking murder. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I look over, and it's like a fucking murder scene.
Yeah.
There, it's straight I saw. There's a straight line of blood all the way up the wall, all the way on the fucking ceiling, back down, over on the charcuterie case. It's a spinning blade. There's blood everywhere. And Rogelio still hasn't realized he's cut himself because he's so
I was gonna say
focused on her.
It could have
butt
been worse.
and her thong.
At least his blood was all rushing somewhere else.
It was. I'm like, yeah, right. I'm like, yeah. There's no way that's happening because the blood's flying out somewhere else. But anyways, so I'm like,
most relatable
holy
story ever.
shit. So
There's ass in your face, and you don't know the world's
Right,
just falling apart, and you're like, oh yeah.
Like a fucking 90s movie, everybody turned.
yeah,
Wow.
he's like
Chicka,
Quagmire.
chicka,
He's really
chicka.
just like giggity, giggity,
Bom,
giggity,
bom.
fucking jumping all over the
Wow,
place.
wow.
But so I walk up, I'm
Wow.
like, holy fuck, and I grab him, and I grab a fucking towel and just slam it on his fucking hand, and then he realizes that he's hurt. He's still staring at her, by the way. And I'm like, holy shit. And now I have to take him to the
The
hospital.
things you do for love.
Right, exactly.
See, this whole
So
before you,
going on, he's fucked up pretty bad. And it's like,
Wait, hold
so
on. What were you gonna say?
when you
Things
led
you
the
do
story
for
in,
love.
no, I thought you were going to say his name was Rogelio Thong.
Oh yeah, no. That would be great.
I was like, that's an interesting name, man.
Appropriate.
What a coincidence.
Right.
Sorry.
So if you
Maybe I
if you were
should
to,
have stopped.
put your
Yeah.
your two
gonna
fingers
let that one
up in
go.
the air like this, and just imagine from the tip of the finger to the middle of the knuckle, everything just hanging down.
Yeah.
It was a clean slice.
Yeah, they're so dangerous.
And it was, again, it's so sharp, but it's so fast. He was still slicing.
Yeah.
There's fucking murder scene going on everywhere. So I take him in, we get to the fucking hospital, and the nurse is like, she's like, okay, I'm going to take a look at it. I'm like, I'd be fucking careful. And she's like, I know what I'm doing. I'm like, okay. And I step behind a window. She opens up. It's like, sprays up the window. I'm like, I told you.
Yeah.
And
yikes.
so she gets
Thought
in.
you knew what you were doing.
So we get in back. They immediately take him into the emergency to go stitch him up. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, okay. And he doesn't speak. He's barely any English. She's like, tell him it's gonna hurt. And I'm like, it's gonna hurt. But no, it's like, I tell him in Spanish. I'm like, fucking Chingo.
I was gonna say, what kind of dick are you?
Like Chingo de Dolor.
It's his
And he
kingdom.
just looks at me, and he's a fucking tough kid, but he goes white. I'm like, oh fuck. So they start injecting, the Novocaine or whatever, and he's just looking at it. And he looks at me, he's like, eh. I'm like, I fucking told you it was tough.
Yeah.
So they put it all in there, they stitched it all up or whatever, bring him back to work, and I'm like, okay, you need to go home. He's like, no, I still want to work. I'm like, you can't fucking work.
No,
You gotta
no,
go
you're
home,
like,
bro.
I
no,
need these
Bob.
hours.
I'm
man. I
like,
need
love
these
you,
hours.
but
Yeah.
no. And but after that, so if you're familiar with the Latin culture in kitchens, you're called by whatever happens to you or who you are, what personal
yeah.
trait you have is your nickname, and that's just the way it is. So
I
like.
have a buddy who
If you're bald, you're Pelon. If you're fat, you're Gordo. If you're skinny, you're Flaco or Huesos. There's a million.
I have a
ways
buddy
to
who was
insult
called
you.
Feroz because he was just furious. He was just
He was
super
just always
mad all the
angry.
time. He just called him Feroz. Like he's just
They used to call me
fucking pissed all the
Puñetas from the
time.
place I work.
There's some other guys super slow. They call him Tortuga, so whatever. But so after this, the cooks were like, because I explained what happened. The cooks are like, dude, this kid's fucking awesome. So his nickname was Webudo. Big balls. And I was like, you can't argue with the kid's fucking 16, checking out
Yeah.
the girl in her thong, slices his fucking finger off, doesn't really realize it happens. Then, takes the fucking shots, no problem, and the stitches. He wants to come back to work.
Dude, if you get,
Kids
if you get
got
a
fucking
nickname
stones,
and that's your
man.
nickname, that's
It's-
fucking the
At
shit.
16, you're Webudo in the kitchen, and
Yeah.
that shit follows you, man.
Yeah.
I mean, everything else is gonna be like,
Dude, when
here's
the
little bitch,
Mexicans
here's
name
big
you
bitch.
big balls, you know you
Right.
have big
Yeah.
fucking balls.
Exactly.
That's like what's his face? The Bears backup quarterback. They called him Big Dick Nick. What was his name?
Nick Foles.
Yeah, Nick Foles. I'm like, yo, if a bunch of black NFL players name you Big Dick Nick, you have a huge fucking dick.
You are the whitest looking
You
guy.
have a huge dick.
Might as well call you three-legged Jimmy.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Old elephant truck Evan. That's the nickname I gave myself.
Truck
Yeah.
Evan.
I was gonna say, who called
Just now.
Boom. If you guys want to call me that, it'd be great.
you? You want to put it to a vote?
Yeah. We have to call
No, I don't
him.
want to see your dick today, man.
all right.
It's like a baby giving a thumbs up.
Corey, honestly, we're gonna need you to come back on because
Heard.
I mean, like I said, I got about 20 things here, and we've crossed off 4. But this is the part of the show that is my favorite part of the show, where you get to learn a little bit more about your service industry employee, and a little part we like to call the 1,
2,
3,
4
questions.
questions. Oh, yeah.
Damn, we nailed that fucking one. Haven't done that in a while.
I fucked it up.
Yeah. All right, this is the 4 questions part of this segment, or this podcast, or however we want to put it out there.
Should we do the 1, 2, 3, 4 again?
I don't know. I think we fucking nailed it, honestly. on the
No,
last
it's 4
one.
questions, though. We
Yeah.
did shots last time.
No,
did
we just
questions.
nailed 4 questions.
We did that.
We did 4
Yeah,
questions?
we just
We
nailed
Did
it.
we
Ask
even
him that.
ask him the question?
No, we didn't. He just said it right soon.
1, 2, 3, 4 questions. I gotta pee. That's
I
what
don't know how you think editing.
All right, let's do it again. This is the time we call 1,
2,
3,
4 questions.
fucking
Yeah.
nailed it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right.
Actually,
this late into the program nailed it.
Yeah.
I'm just
Never
gonna.
happens.
We're doing
Oh, Doyle
great.
rules.
Never.
Yeah,
Doyle
I'm
does
just gonna
rule.
make that into a loop.
Let's just go high fives.
Yeah.
Let's go high fives.
We're gonna have to edit this
You're the
out.
best around. Nothing's ever gonna bring you down.
All right.
I'm just gonna edit that one into all of them, just like
Perfect.
retroactively.
Even with the song. Too.
All right, so we're here with Chef Corey Grupe. Corey.
Yeah.
Like I know you're not really like in a restaurant right now. You're kind of like you're running an airport.
The eye in the sky.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
But like give me like your average day off. Like what are you doing on your day off? Are you recuperating?
Do
Are
you
you
have
partying?
those?
Yeah, do you
I
get
do
them?
actually. The crazy thing is, I actually work.
Is that the benefit of what you're doing now
yeah, it is.
compared?
I work Monday through Friday. I'm off on the weekends.
Holy
Oh.
shit,
I do
dude.
stuff on the weekends.
Go
like,
fuck
You
yourself.
You have arrived,
dude.
sir.
Fuck.
You
Are
have
you
arrived.
serious?
You know how long it took me to get
Oh
here?
my
In
God.
work years, I'm
Oh, no,
197 years
But-
old.
yeah, you deserve it. You deserve it.
And that's just true.
Do you know how many people I had to push down the stairs to work to get off Sunday and Monday? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like,
We can edit that out if that actually happened.
No, we're gonna make a fucking SVU
So-
fucking episode.
But again, it took me literal decades to get decades.
Yeah.
For all you kids that want to be chefs, don't do it. Decades. But anyways, almost three. I don't know. Was it 35 years? Yeah.
Yeah.
28, 20. Yeah.
All right, hold on. So let's make this two-part thing. It's like when you're a chef running your kitchen
Yep.
at a restaurant. What were you doing on your day off? Like, I mean, like,
When you had one.
did you get
I know
a
there were
day
times
off?
you
So if I had a day off, couple things. One, probably nursing a hangover.
Yep.
That a boy?
That's fair, right?
Yep.
Two, laundry, dude. Laundry, sleep.
Yeah.
And I know everybody says sleep, but it's true. It's like,
All the shit.
No,
you gotta catch up
no.
on.
Not everybody
get the
says
laundry
sleep.
going in, you sit on the
No.
fucking couch, you throw fucking whatever you're trying to catch up on, and everyone's like, oh, have you seen this show? I'm like, no. Like,
Yeah.
dude, it's been on 7 seasons. I'm like, fuck.
I feel like
So I
sleep's
feel like
something
so
I
much
did
of-
in my youth. I don't sleep. What's that?
Okay, so if I could go back in time and kick my own ass for not taking naps as a child, I would.
Oh my
Because
God, yeah.
the nap right now is like my favorite thing. But
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so that's what back when I was doing it all the
Catching
time,
up on chores.
It was chores. What I did like doing was like working in my garden.
Yeah.
So
that's very
like
cool.
Go in, even if you're hungover, I didn't care. I'd fucking grab a drink, whatever.
Yeah,
have
get
that,
out in
and
the
just sit in the
sun.
back and just tear up the backyard, do the vegetable garden, do the flower gardens, do all that stuff, and just hang out there, and hang out with my dogs, hang out with my wife. That's what I would do.
Yeah, it's a very funny thing like that I've noticed with the people that we talk with, and even just myself like nowadays, is like on your day off, I'm not going out. Like if I do go out, it's a night I get off early, and then I get to go like have a drink before I go home.
Sure.
Like on my actual day off, the last fucking thing I want to do is be in a bar with a bunch of people or something like that.
Yep.
Unless I'm doing unless it's like a special event where I'm going like to get a really good meal
That's
or something like that,
Yeah.
But yeah, especially like, I mean, I know we're in a bar on a Monday right now, but like if your only night off is Monday, you don't really want to go hang out at a bar.
I don't want to be at a busy bar if I'm not
Except
working
this
it.
super cool bar.
Yeah, somebody please open a little dive bar in Vernon Hills. I will love you forever.
Yeah.
Because it needs it.
Okay.
I agree.
It's a good idea, and there's plenty of
It
people.
really does. And there's plenty of open fucking places.
It's
for it.
just the way Vernon Hills is built. There's not a spot for it. That's
It would be in a strip mall, and that doesn't, that automatically right there.
They got to
Even though
tuck
this
something
is
in the
kind of
woods.
technically-
They got to tuck something in the woods up there by like the car dealership and the like the medical office building across from the old
Hollister.
you know where
whatever.
the white deer used to be.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember the herd of white deer?
Oh,
They were-
shit back in the day. Yeah,
Yeah,
You were the buffalo
at
that was in
Cuneo-
Lester's Buffalo Farm on 60 there.
Dude, at
That was cool back in
Cuneo,
the day.
where
That's how
in
old I
Vernon
am.
Hills on Milwaukee, you could go.
Yep.
And there was like an old museum back there, and I used to go to
By the
like
train
classic.
tracks, wasn't it?
I used to go to classic car shows back there
I
because my
remember
dad
that,
had
yeah.
a Packard, which is like a 20s, 30s, 40s
Yeah.
car. So we used to go to these like classic car shows there, but they had a herd of miniature white deer, and they were like little Labrador Retriever sized fucking white deer with huge antlers. You'd go back there and put like 25 cents in the fucking dispenser, and they'd come and eat out of your
I
hand.
completely forgot about that.
Well, that's
until
where they
now.
need a dive
Thank
bar.
you for that. Yeah, exactly.
I digress.
Put a bar there.
I digress.
Right now, I think that's been replaced by
place I had all
by
these childhood
$700,000
memories.
Put a
home.
bar right on top of one of my fondest childhood memories, so I can enjoy it now too. Bring the deer back.
It's better than a high rise.
Make them bartend.
I think there's a PETA Inn where the white buffalo or where the buffalo used to be, but whatever.
Oh, dude, that Pete in though, tasty.
Yes, it is good, man.
All right. Let's just keep going here. All right. Question number 2. So going from O'Hare to like Vernon Hills now, you definitely have quite a like drive.
Yep.
But like between like what you're doing now, or if you were just like cooking or bartending or whatever somewhere else, like on your ride home, are you listening to something or are you driving in silence?
So when I go to work in the morning, I'm like all motivating shit. I listen to like. Bring it up for
You're
the whole
good.
class.
You're good. Yeah.
So when I go to work in the morning,
He's getting bejeweled
You okay,
over
buddy?
here.
We're gonna cut that out.
Maybe just hang on then. Yeah, we're cutting it. Yeah. Don't answer now.
time out.
So you said you're motivated in the
Yeah.
morning.
So in the morning now, I'll listen to like some kind of like work tape, whether it's like I don't know, it's multi-unit leadership. It's there's a million different like business books that I listen to right now because it's like you turn around, it's like I've got 1,200 associates.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
a lot of people, and just like working in that.
So like
dynamic.
preparing for your day, you're
Yeah,
definitely
so I
like,
do that. On the way home, I'm listening to music, and it's all the way up, and I know I shouldn't have it that loud because I'm fucking old as shit. I'm killing my hearing. I don't give a fuck.
But
It's
that's
fucking
why you
up.
have to have it so
Exactly.
loud.
I'm fucking and
Can't hear it.
and I'm terrible at singing, but I'm fucking singing in my car, and I don't
Fuck
give a
yeah, dude.
fuck. And I'm
Are you
just
doing like
driving
metal
home.
or what? Like rap? You
It
going like
depends, dude. I
gangster
fucking
rap or
listen
what?
to everything.
Yeah.
It could be, I could be listening to Slayer. I could be listening to, Iron Maiden. At the same rate, I could be listening to like fucking old school Run DMC, which, by the way, if you listen, it's fucking
That's really
great
good.
to listen
Oh,
to.
yeah.
Really
I
good.
mean, Beastie Boys. It could be, I could be in a mood where it's like I'm listening to fucking NSYNC and Backstreet Boys.
Shania
I don't give
Twain.
a fuck. No.
Just me.
Thou
Just
thou
me.
shalt
That's
not
just me.
country.
That's just a me thing. That's just a thing that I do. All right.
But I listen. I mean, I do listen to a lot of different music, and so on the way home, it's just like
That
I
don't
listen to that,
impress
and
me
that's what
much.
it is.
Jay.
Well played, sir. Well
Nice, dude. Nice.
I am sorry.
You get a gold pin. But so yeah, and that's what I do. Like I said, going to work, I'll listen to or I'll listen to a book if I'm listening to like an audiobook or something like that. I'll
Yeah.
listen to that, even if it's relevant to like what's going on with work. I'll listen to like the Sandman. I listen to the Sandman. It's been a TV show or whatever, but I listen to that during the day and when I was driving to work, and it was nice. But on the way home, it's always music, and I'm just like decompressing, and that's what I do.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just getting your fucking frustrations out on the fucking steering wheel.
Just rolling home. It's all good.
All right. So what did we say earlier? You 35 years? Is this what you've been in the industry?
88 to now, so yeah.
35.
Carry the 3.
Carry 3, drop 10, something like that. So tell me the thing you love the most about this industry and the thing you hate the most about this industry.
It's funny listening to all the podcasts. Everybody always talks about it's the people, but it honestly, it really is. Here's the thing: it's not just the people. It's when you get into this industry, it's relationships. It's a lot of you go through shit, and you do battle every fucking day, and you fight and you go through stuff, and it's like.
Yeah, we've talked about like how it's like a band of brothers almost. Like
It really is. It is not easy. And, and even like, you go through all that and you take your hits and then you have great days on top of it. And those things are fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But there's days you walk out of that shift and you're like, that was fucking brutal. There's days you walk out and then you go to the bar and be like, let's just fucking forget about this. And
without
knock,
a doubt,
knock,
yeah.
who's there? J-Mo.
Yeah.
But then there's also days where it's like, dude, we fucking killed that. And then you're fucking happy, and then guess what? Knock, knock. Who's there? J-Mo.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but it is.
But it's a different
'cause
feeling.
Either
You know,
good or
you're like,
either
"Oh,
good
this
or
is
either
awesome."
good or bad. Your adrenaline and like just dopamine like spike is
Yeah.
huge with that. Like
So-
with this industry.
Jobs don't have that. Like,
No,
you like
they
being in a kitchen and a fucking huge wave hits and like everybody's like bang, 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 and the waitresses and the cooks and everything's going nuts for like 2 to 3 hours straight. People who don't work in the service industry
Don't care.
have no fucking idea what it's like to go to
No.
work and have your fucking blood pressure spike for 2 or
Just
3
that,
hours.
that intensity.
like do a
is-
CrossFit. You're doing a CrossFit
Yeah.
while you're working.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
that
Your heart
that,
rate is
that
through the
intensity
roof.
that comes with this industry is not relatable to a lot of people.
Not at all.
Like
But it's
I-
so fucking addictive.
Oh,
It is.
it is,
But
you know?
here's again, the high that you get after coming off an awesome shift is amazing. And I always used to explain this to people. It's like, so, a perfect shift is like walking down the blade of a knife. All right. And if you stay perfectly on that blade, you're fine. And if you slip to the left or the right, you're proper fucked.
mhm.
So it's
Proper.
like literally you're cut. So it's like, let's get right down that fucking. And at the end of the day, when you fucking kill the shift, everybody's walking high. Everybody made money. Everybody's having fun. You get out and you're like, God, that was fucking awesome. And that's the best part of the fucking business. And then you're there and you're with
fucking great.
the people that you spend more time with people in this business than you do your family. And that's
Right.
just a fact.
Well, and like even going off that, like on those great nights, you're like, when you're thinking like, not everybody can do this. Like
No,
that,
there's no way.
like not everybody could have just done what I like, and very few people could have just done what I just did.
St. Patrick's Day.
And then not only that,
Nope.
then you look at the guy next to you and you're like, I don't even really like this motherfucker, but me and a guy I do like couldn't have done this. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like I needed
we
this.
fucking killed
I
it.
needed this asshole next to me to make me feel like the badass that I feel like I am right now.
Right. And
Right.
that's the thing. And the other thing is the thing that you appreciate with this business is when you get your ass kicked and it's not good. And we've all been there. Something go like the POS goes down. A new
You got the
server,
credit card
a
thing,
new
just
cook,
like the old
a cook
slide.
doesn't show up. And the fucking grill goes out in the middle of the shift. The fucking hood shuts off. Any number of things.
Electricity goes out.
And it's fucking brutal. The biggest thing is you walk out and this is the great thing about the industry is everybody's in competition, but we all need each other.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
And we all do better when we're all doing well.
Yeah.
But when somebody fucks up and you go down and you feel like shit, people from other restaurants and your own people come in and be like, dude, it's good, man. I get it. We've been there. And
Right.
you pick each other up. And that is an amazing part of this
Yeah.
business. And it can't be understated. That's where the addiction comes from is it's family, but it's not just family, the people you work with. It's everybody that's been in the restaurant industry. We're all kindred spirits. You can be a manager at some fucking high-end fucking shop or whatever the fuck it is. You can't handle a single shift in a restaurant. But if you can work in a restaurant, you can manage anything anywhere. Because any of the bullshit that you deal with in any other industry, nothing's going to touch what we have to deal with on a fucking daily
Nothing.
basis, and that's a
On
fact.
a
Dude, there is
Tuesday.
no working
On a
in an
fucking
office
Tuesday,
job
yeah.
that's like so stressful that it's anything like working in a kitchen at all.
like you're saying,
nothing.
it's just so many of the different factors, whether it's supply, like you're running out of something.
It doesn't come in.
Customer service.
Anything.
You got some Karen screaming at you about something on a Tuesday.
Yep.
Just
My fucking pizza was pie cut.
exactly, and just like you
This is my favorite. I know the owner.
oh,
Really? That's cute. Guess what? If I call the owner and you call the owner, guess who they're going to answer the phone for you?
Yeah, it's
Not
like
you,
I know the
motherfucker.
owner
Where's my
too.
fucking
He's been
check?
here all
So,
day.
yeah,
That's literally my line. I'm like, text him and tell him to call me and tell me to do what you're saying to do. Like,
That's why I love your owner, because I know people are just like, yeah, I
Brian's
know the
fucking
owner.
great
It's
guy,
like
dude.
everyone fucking knows him, dude. He's the man. You think he's gonna shit on me because you're being a jerk right now? Like,
right. I almost want to tell
You don't know
like, like, like he's here. And I get,
He just doesn't want to
Like
talk
I
to
know
you.
the owner. I'm like, yeah, he's
They're like
been
hiding
standing
on
over
there.
there
Like,
all
will
night.
that fucking asshole leave at some point in time? Because I'd like to go out and talk to my customers.
Oh, I got in trouble for that when I first started at the first restaurant job I had. They were like, I know the owner. I was like, oh, I'll send him over. And I went back, and he was in the back. And I was like, oh, this table knows you. He looks on the cameras, and he goes, fuck you. and he walks up, and he talks to him, and he comes back. And after he's done, he goes, fuck you. And I was like, I thought, he was like, that's going to happen every fucking night. Don't ever fucking do that again. And I was like, all right.
No, I had a guy really early on. Like,
whoa, they want to say hi.
I kept going up to him and like, I'm like, oh, the phone's for you. And he's like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, well, they asked for you, like the owner. And he's like, yeah, I'm not here. I'm like, but no, like you are here. And he's like, no,
right in front of me.
I am not here. Like, I am never here. Like, unless it's my wife. And even then, I'm still not here.
Even then, use your better judgment. I tell people I work that, I'm like, what I kind of pay you for is to like be a barrier between me and like having to deal with these people directly. So like,
You're
if
failing
somebody's
right
just
now.
like, I need to talk to the manager. You just need to like at least come up with 2 excuses why you can't first before
He's
you
not
put
here.
me on
I
the phone
can
with
see
this
him.
guy.
He's not.
Do you remember my bat signal?
It's his brother.
Do you remember my bat signal?
No.
Cashman, do you remember the bat signal? Okay, so I'm stuck at a table, and they're just yammering in whatever is going on.
Oh,
My
especially
bat
like being
signal-
a chef, you got all the food
Right.
reps trying to come
So
up to you.
my
yeah.
bat signal is this.
Just
Scratch top of my head. And that's, hey, motherfucker, get your ass over here. Hey, there's a fire. Somebody died. Something fucking happened. We need you over here now. And he's laughing. It's the fucking truth.
They overcooked the water. They overcooked the water.
Exactly. If I set up the flag, you better fucking be there. If you leave me hanging, we're going to have words later.
Oh, shit.
No free shots for you because you left Chef hanging.
Yeah,
Not cool.
That's fair.
All right, so give me the one thing you hated about the industry, or hate, whatever you want to say.
So the thing that I hate the most is that, you know, most of us that work in the industry are very social people. And the thing that I miss the most, I miss time with my family. And for me, that's the biggest thing. I don't, you know, there would always be an open invite to any kind of fucking party, whether it's my friends or whatever, and they knew I would never show up because I was always fucking working. You know, and so that is the thing I hated, is that if I could, we talked about this earlier. So there's times in the restaurant that it's almost like Stockholm syndrome,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
where you
I
know
like-
your captors.
I call it
you're-
Never Land.
Yeah, you're like, oh my god, I believe in these people now, and even though you're fucked, you know, I missed out on, you know, my best man at my wedding, my best friend Brian, he passed away, and I went to the funeral, which is down the street from the restaurant I was working at the time, and then I went to the lunch for a minute, and I left because I had to get back to work.
Oh, that's rough.
And that's not okay. I went to my aunt's funeral, and I left so I could get back for dinner service.
Yeah.
And that's what I hate about the industry. I did that because, you know, it's like, you know, there's this like crazy blind loyalty that you get, and that's where like that Stockholm syndrome comes in. And that's not okay. It's not. And there's been a whole shift and a whole change in the way the industry thinks about things. But that's something that, you know, that I hated about it. It's like I gave up important things to go back to work.
Well, and it was even like, I'll expand on that. Like it's kind of how you were saying how you carry that chip on your shoulder from not finishing culinary school.
Mm-hmm.
It is like something that people who take this job very serious and do love this industry, you know, like you have this. It's almost I need to please. It's not a please, but like I have to be there. Like I am your rock. I will be there. I will always be there.
There's so
it's
many
like
people
blind
depending
loyalty.
on you.
Right.
Whether it doesn't matter if you're the grill cook, it doesn't matter if you're the server, the host, the bartender, whatever. In the industry, every single piece is dependent on to get through a
the
shift.
other one, yeah.
And it's like, and that's here because we've all been there and done that, and that's the thing that I have to get back to help, and that's what
But
I hate about it.
Here's the other thing though that I've noticed. if that one piece doesn't show up, it will suck. But if you're good and the place is good, you will get through that without having that one piece. And so, like, I don't feel like, obviously, like, missing a funeral, missing a wedding, like, shit like that. It's like, dude, I try to always just tell people, like, stay, do your thing, do what you have to do. We'll figure it out. We'll somehow work it.
Right.
But it's like, don't take advantage of that and be like, it's my best friend's birthday.
My cat stubbed his toe.
Like, get the fuck out of here.
Exactly.
Like, you should have gotten it. If it's your best friend's birthday, you should have gotten it covered. You should have asked for it off or whatever. It's those ones
things that can
like,
be planned. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, but those ones, like,
but even then, I would never take a Saturday off because I would fuck, it would just fuck everybody.
Yeah.
It's just not okay.
Right.
But then again, you look at it, it's like, if you're not there.
But I think what you're saying there is kind of like, it goes back to that chip on your shoulder. It's that sickness that we have, like no, they won't be all right without me. Like, it won't. Like,
Well,
it's
especially when
almost
you're
like,
It's fine, but
it'd be better if I was there.
But it won't be the kind of
Like-
fine that
like-
you want it to be, right?
And it's
Because
almost
you can't
as-
see it, and you're going to be calling or texting somebody, "Hey, how's it going?" And it's going to bother you anyway. So whether you're there or not, you're still there.
you're still there.
And it's that, like, fucked up mindset that people in this industry have. Like
Stockholm's- it's
validate
literally
me,
Stockholm
validate me,
syndrome.
make
You're
me
just-
make me feel valuable.
Yes, exactly.
It's crazy.
Right. And then there's people you work with or managers that I've worked for who will like go out of town and like everything goes fine and they're pissed. They're like, "Are you fucking what?" They come back and are just looking for stuff to be mad about. And you're like, oh,
If I took time off and I came back and nothing happened, I'm like, God, I've done my
"Thank
fucking
fucking
job.
God,
Thank
I set
God.
it up right." Yeah.
Because
It is
if it's
suspicious,
not
though.
right, if it's not
It
right
is
when you're
very
suspicious,
suspicious.
Yeah, everything's fine. Don't go in the walk-in.
Because I'll tell you what I've done that before, and like, and all of a sudden everything's like fine. Then it's like 3 weeks later, I'm like, wait, what happened?
Yeah, you hear the
That
rest of the
happens
story,
at
you're
work.
I can't believe we got away with that. Okay, so here's what happened.
Like,
And you're
what is
like,
that?
"Oh,
The Osgood? And here's the
You
rest.
come
of the
back
story.
and then you're like, oh, wait, I was like 2 weeks behind. I'm
Oh yeah, we
preparing
closed for 2 of those
cocktails.
days. You were gone. We didn't want to tell you.
2 weeks
we
behind, I'm
faked a
preparing
fire.
cocktails.
All right. Let's go into question number 4. What advice do you have to either our service industry listener or just our regular listener to make them a better customer? Like, how give them
Or
advice
guest.
to make that they could do to make their experience better.
Be prepared.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
That I mean, that's it. I mean, the other thing is like when you get to restaurants, it's like, oh, you don't have this. I get it for free. Really? So I'm showing up to buy a car at your restaurant.
Yeah.
Or your car dealership. Oh, you don't have blue with pink polka dots? I get it for free.
Right.
Right.
You know, well, it's not the same. It's just food. It's like, no, bitch.
'Cause
Our
it's
margins are
slightly
the fucking
altered,
same.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's like, it. That's the biggest fucking thing. It's like, don't come in and just like. Everybody looks at it at restaurants. They're like, well, just give it to me for free because that's how I get paid,
Yeah.
or that's how you pay me back. It's like, no, that's not it. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
so we fucked up. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. You know, we'll recook
do
the
what
other
we
one. Get it for
can.
you. It's fine.
Yeah.
We'll take care of you. But what I'm not going to do is comp your fucking meal because all you fucking Karens ordered all you red hat ladies.
Oh god.
Yeah, we went there.
No, I don't know, but
You,
I
you
can
know the red hat
imagine.
ladies.
It's a
I want it with
nationwide
this,
group
without this, with this,
of
with
the
that.
worst
With,
demographic. We can cut this out.
yeah, woof.
I'm gonna be an asshole.
And that's
They-
okay.
They come in and
Someone's feeling triggered.
it's like 30 of them usually.
Oh yeah, and they're
they're
angry.
all 70 plus. They're
Think a
all-
cocaine bear with a sore tooth,
they all
and
want
that's the
more-
red hat ladies.
They're all 80
Thought the
pounds. and
cocaine
want
would take
more
care of that.
iced tea than anybody that
But it
size could
doesn't.
ever possibly drink.
Right.
Where are they fucking putting it?
All the icy. This lemon is not good. It's a lemon. It's not good. For Jesus,
wow, I
fucking
don't know
Mary and
anything
Joseph.
about this, but I hate it.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah, I mean,
Anyways, so that's a thing.
Yeah, we can
The-
move past it.
well, I mean, we'll keep going on in a little bit.
Okay, yeah,
That's
yeah,
what we're
yeah,
here to do.
Yeah, I want to hear.
I thought
all
you were
about
doing
it,
the
to be
move along
honest.
thing.
I don't think I've ever worked in a place that was nice enough to have this.
No, I mean the
Think
thing
of the
you're-
mega Karen at the end of the fucking. Think of like when you've passed all the other Karens and you get to the mega Karen at the end of the level.
I thought you were gonna
It's
say end
30
life.
of 'em.
Yeah.
That's the
Wow.
red hat ladies.
like the one that orders the $100 steak and then wants it sent back, and then you send out another one, and then they eat that one, and then they're like, you didn't comp it, and it's like,
Yeah.
No.
you just ordered a tomahawk that cost me $25, like, and I had to
I've
cook
never had a
you
red
2
hat
of
lady do
them.
that,
Right.
but, yeah.
And now you want all your wine for free.
Yeah, like,
And
it's
you
just
want
like,
all your drinks for free. And you want your 30 other dumb bitches on said tab for free too, because
It's not a gotcha. You can't just be like, gotcha, this wasn't perfect. The whole bill's free. It's like,
no, and like,
yeah.
and like,
But
by
it's
all
not a
means, like,
fucking game.
No, I'll make
but
your
that's the
order
whole thing
right
with it. It's
for
like
the price
that's
you're
what drives
paying.
me
Yeah.
crazy is that it's like restaurants like give it to me for free. It's like, okay, well, hey, I ordered a computer. Oh, it's not in. It's gonna be delayed. Okay, give me my computer for free.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's delayed. I don't give a fuck.
give it to me for
It's like you came in and you ordered your fucking food and we were getting our ass kicked and it was delayed and you demanded your fucking food for free.
Right.
Fuck you.
If
my
restaurants-
my favorite is someone orders a cocktail that like it's all listed there. Everything is listed on that list.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And then they go, I don't know, I was just surprised by the mint. I didn't like it. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, what would you like?
You mean the mint that I
And-
put on the menu?
Yeah. And then
it's
the drink that
literally
you ordered?
in
and then
green with
I-
fucking mint
I leave,
flags
I
everywhere.
leave that on
Yeah.
I leave that on your tab and you go, why is that still on there? I'm like,
Because you bought
well,
it.
you
drank
ordered
it.
it.
and
like,
you bought it.
You ordered it. That's what you
Yeah.
you ordered. That like I gave you exactly what you ordered. It's listed. It's here. Here you go. Well, I didn't like it. I understand that. So don't order it. But like
Right.
you ordered this one.
I didn't like the computer I
Yeah,
bought
you
from you
sound
for
dumb.
$1,800,
Yeah.
but you're not giving me a discount, right?
And
And,
if
that's the whole thing that I hate about the restaurant industry. It's like they devalue
Yeah.
everything,
what you're doing, yeah.
but then it's like
If we built it into the margins,
for
we're fucked again.
sidebar. I'm really sorry.
Go ahead.
Fucking Yelp.
Yep.
Oh, it's
It's like I'm gonna hunt your ass down and be like, "Oh, hey Karen, where do you work at?"
I don't look at Yelp at all anymore. Fuck it.
This
If
brings
you Yelp, I'm sorry, I'm gonna put this out there. If you Yelp, you're a fucking terrible person,
Yeah.
and fuck you.
No, you're a
There's-
loser
you
with
have-
too much time,
Yeah,
and
you have
I don't
zero
value your
redeeming
opinion
qualities.
because you're nothing like me. I
You're-
have a job and things to do, and I'm not going to go and make a Yelp account to complain that the orange chicken wasn't crispy enough. You and I have nothing in common. Your opinion means nothing
Right,
to
and
me.
let me just say this.
Fucking nothing.
I've forgotten more in the last 5 minutes than you'll ever know about food. Fuck you.
Yeah.
this brings me to something I was thinking about the other day. I came up with this idea like 10 years ago. But like, you know, like on a
The
Tuesday-
anti-Yelp.
no,
I
no,
created a
it's not
Facebook
that.
account
It's-
called Yelp Troll Hunter.
It's on the same
Is
page.
it still out there?
It is. I never did anything with it. Maybe we should.
It's on the same page as that though. Like, so you're closing on a Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
Doors clearly say close at 10. Do last call at 9:30, 9:40, whatever. You know, people are still eating at the table. Turn the lights off or turn the lights all the way up at like 10, 10:15. Turn the music off. 10:20. Turn the TVs off. 10:30. I'm counting everything. These guys are still here. I'm like, hey, guys, we're done. They're like, oh, I got to call my Uber real quick. And I'm like, no, man, like we're done. Like you got to go.
You can do that outside.
So
Mhm.
my TV show is I want to find out what you do for a living to that guy. Like, oh, you sell tile? And your tile store closes at 5:30?
Guess what?
Guess what, motherfucker? I'm coming here at fucking 5:15. And you're not closed yet. So I'm coming in and I want to see all your
Absolutely.
tiles. And I want to try all your tiles.
And
then I'm
Danny's
gonna-
calling his friends to
then
come
I'm
in
gonna-
and look
yeah,
at them too.
And then I'm going to go to the bathroom while you think I'm leaving and come back and still look at your fucking
And
tiles.
I want to see these
And then-
tiles put down
You
next to
fucking
these other
asshole.
tiles.
and then I'll meet
and
in
I'm
the
just gonna-
entryway after you think
Oh.
they're leaving and talk for
And
another
then-
15
Yeah.
fucking minutes.
And then when you tell me I really have to
what do
leave,
you still have to talk about?
hold on, my ride's not here
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah. You guys
Fuck
have been here
you
for
people.
4 hours. I can tell not one of you is interesting. What are you even talking about?
I apologize for
damn.
triggering everybody.
It's fine.
Oh,
That's
you're
what we're
bringing
here
up-
for.
You're bringing up fucking shit
It's
from
Evan's
the-
fun.
like, I
We're
wanna
having
show
fun.
where-
So if I have triggered you, please leave a comment.
Evan's
So
like, I
we
want to
can all
have a
be
show where I
together.
prove I'm pettier than everyone. Fuck you.
I kind of really went off on this one.
No, I
Yeah.
get it.
Well, you
It's
got to understand.
totally.
Like,
That's
I
my
usually
fault. I
come on here and
apologize.
just- I'd let it go a little bit, you know. but
People
like,
walk
it's
into
been
my
3 weeks.
store at 2 minutes to close. I had this one customer. He used to call me and be like, "Yo, I'm sorry I always show up at the last minute, but I don't get off work till 7:45." I'm like, I don't care. Like my hours and your hours not working together is that a reason to ruin my life 3 days a week?
Yeah, right.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
If you can never come to the store again, I don't care. Don't come.
Yeah.
Fuck you. I don't care if you get off in Wicker Park at fucking 7:45. Fuck you. Fuck you, dude. I don't care. He's like, well, but you have to understand, like, I barely get off work before you do. I'm like, you don't understand. Like, I get paid by the hour. I don't give a shit when you get off of fucking work. Like, don't come here.
What if I
Just
told you it was
don't.
okay to fire a customer?
Oh,
Come
my
before
God.
work.
Yeah.
Maybe you're open before work. I don't know. Fucking day
All right.
off.
So, anyways, remember when we said we
All
were
right.
going to make a service industry podcast where we didn't shit on everybody?
Yeah, well,
Oh,
fuck
it's,
you,
it's okay to
customers.
shit
You're
on the
turds.
guests a little bit.
You
99%
bunch
of
of
guests are fine. I will
So,
say that.
ladies and gentlemen, this is
All
the
right.
pent up rage that we may feel from time to time, but we still love you.
This could be the tipping point where all restaurants end because just a bunch of us put our voices out there. And
My bad.
You can tell how much
Not you're
alcohol
there.
we've had every
This is what
podcast
35
by how
years
real
does
it
to you.
gets. We're just like, yeah, well, fuck you all. Fuck you. Don't come.
what, you got a hat
Fuck
on?
You.
Eat shit. Get out of my bar. Fucking blue shirt. I hate that.
Yeah.
You wearing a fucking Cardinals hat? Are you fucking serious?
Well, you tip 15%, suck my dick. Get the fuck out.
Oh, it's your birthday? I hate you.
I'm charging you double because you asked
Your
for a
fucking
fucking birthday
birthday?
candle, and there's no fucking candles.
Guess whose birthday it isn't? It's not my fucking birthday. Fuck you.
What do you mean you don't have candles?
Somebody run to the restaurant next door and ask him for a birthday
Dude,
candle.
the fucking candles, man. Like, we're just supposed to have
I just
fucking
hold my lighter in
candles?
front of him and say, blow it out.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Wait, you're not ready for a birthday party here? You're like, no, this is a fucking bar.
Well, I was
idiot.
designing this menu. I did not think I got to order candles. Like,
You know what we need? Candles.
Didn't realize we were a fucking Dollar General
Wait, you don't
over
have trick
here.
candles?
Wait, you're telling me you're
I want him to blow it
You-
out twice.
you're
But
going-
it's my special day.
no, my favorite. Like, I want to be like, so it's your friend's birthday. And they're like, yeah. I'm like, and you went out and bought this fucking cake for him, right? And like, you got this reservation for him, right? But you didn't buy candles, and you just thought the person who doesn't know your friend at
You're a
all,
terrible
had
friend.
candles that I was gonna bring.
Are
to this
candles on the
party
menu?
I wasn't invited to.
Let me pick up your slack.
Okay.
Just a suggestion box drop the next day. It's like, Evan,
Doesn't like candles. As it
Evan
turns
hates
out.
candles.
Don't ask him about candles.
inferred
He's
that
not
I
a
was
candles
like a
guy.
bad
Do you like
friend. I
scented
don't
candles?
appreciate it.
No fucking
But you know
candles.
what I mean? Like you took all these steps to make this like your girl's special day. Like Krista's gonna have a good night tonight. It's Friday night. We're going out. We got this table. It's like you forgot the fucking candles, bro. Like come on, man. Like
I
why
planned
go?
everything perfectly, but it's Evan's fault. I forgot 25-cent candles.
Yeah. Well,
And that goes in the Yelp review too. Everything was
totally.
great. 2 stars, no
Everything
candles.
was
one
great,
star.
but-
I'm gonna
They
go- I'm
didn't
gonna go
have
one-
birthday
I'm gonna go
candles.
one
What kind
step
of restaurant
further.
doesn't have birthday candles?
I'm gonna go one step further. You brought the candles. You don't have a fucking lighter though.
Oh, geez.
I hate you.
That I'm okay with. I always have a lighter. I'm a chain smoker.
Yeah, but
so.
do they give it back?
Yeah,
do
I
they
mean,
give it back to you?
LOL
Oh, I don't.
And then
Oh,
you
yeah.
get
I don't
really
give them the option. I light it for them. They don't touch my lighter.
Okay.
LOL, the kitchen doesn't have 30 lighters.
Okay.
They're playing with them back there. There's a guy juggling them.
I'm very sorry, but nobody
got a
here
gas stove
smokes.
and maybe some Q-tips. I
I
can
got
give you.
one in my coat and one in my pants and one in my hoodie.
Yeah. Do you want my car lighter, or my,
all
my
right,
pants
all
lighter, or
right,
my
all
shirt
right.
lighter, my coat lighter, or my sock lighter?
At this
Before we
point in my career, I
discourage
could
anyone
snap
from
my
ever coming
fingers
out
and it
again.
fucking lights.
No, this is fun though.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the 1,
2,
3,
4
shots.
questions part of this podcast. We still have a little bit more here to go.
Yeah,
We are still here with Chef Corey Grupe. Corey,
Yes.
what is the craziest thing you've ever seen, had happen to you, observed, whatever?
Well,
within the boundaries of public decency, please.
okay, that's
somewhat. It's not going on PBS Kids or anything, you know. But
I mean,
Fetching
I've
and
seen
filthing.
I've seen many crazy. I've been a part of giant fucking brawls inside of 200-person brawls in a bar. That was insane. Like literally chairs and stools flying, this and that. But I don't know. Let's talk about some fun stuff.
sure.
So one of the most insane things I saw is one of our door guys back in the day. We'll just call him Sheriff Tom because that's what we called him. So Sheriff Tom had this unique ability. It's when we all worked down at Sports Corner and across from Wrigley Field. And so Sheriff Tom had the ability to pee in a lasso. So he could literally pee up in the air and whip a lasso above his head and pee all around himself. He can also pee directly. He had the ability.
Wait, hold on.
Literally, yes, a lasso. But to put that in perspective, he also had the ability
what the fuck?
to stand behind a Ford Explorer and pee directly lengthwise over the Ford Explorer without ever getting a drop of pee on said Ford Explorer.
Holy
That's
shit.
a strong
It was
bladder.
an amazing talent. And so, but yeah,
This guy should be in like Cirque du Soleil.
So he
This
would
is
literally,
amazing. This sounds like the ogre.
we would bring him out into the parking lot, and he would whip it out and start peeing. And like it was funny because the girls would be like, "I'm going to stand next to Sheriff Tom," and they'd be sitting around him, and he'd be peeing in a giant lasso, and everybody would be running for cover.
Was he like packing?
He just had his pressure was right, and he
or was
just
it
had
like a
this,
noodle?
Well,
I almost feel like a noodle might be better to get that whip
had-
action. You know, like
small
there-
diameter.
I mean, maybe
higher pressure.
Maybe
it's not small. It's just thin.
There was maybe
Got a
like an
skinny
angle
dick.
issue with the urethra, but whatever. The guy could do amazing things with this pee, and so I'm just gonna put that out there as like stupid human tricks that were absolutely amazing. They learned in the restaurant because I've seen all kinds of crazy shit in the restaurant, which we can talk about at some other point.
Yeah.
But
That's
dude,
pretty
who the
impressive,
fucking
though.
pee lengthwise over a Ford Explorer and not have it touch a Ford Explorer, and also pee in a lasso and have people around him inside lasso while he's peeing and nobody gets it.
Standing
that's
inside the
impressive.
pee, other people is what's crazy. We had a guy, so we used to go to Bufo's every weekend growing up,
Yeah.
Bufo's in Highwood. And there was a guy there named the Ogre. And I mean, his name wasn't really the Ogre. That's just what my dad called
Wasn't
him.
his Christian name.
So the Ogre was famous
Theodore
for being able
Ogre.
to pee over 2 sets of railroad tracks without getting any on the track.
Impressive,
So
yeah,
that's
yeah.
what that story reminded me of immediately. The Ogre also apparently won like a famous some radio DJ in Chicago had like a belly flop competition in like the 70s, and the Ogre won that. Like some amazing double backflip belly flop.
Just has a lot of talents, but none of them profitable.
I'm just saying, peeing
That's
over
like the worst
stuff
thing.
Jack
is
of
a
all,
common
master of
party
nothing.
trick. Common party trick, peeing.
I'm not
really
gonna lie.
far.
I know what I'm doing the next week.
You're gonna try to pee over a Ford Explorer.
No, I don't. I'm gonna try to do the lasso.
An expedition.
Like, you're gonna walk into my bathroom and my walls are just gonna be
so
fucked.
just to watch it happen, it was absolutely amazing to have that arc that high and be able to whip it around.
Like, it
where-
didn't get on him or anything?
no.
Like, just
so
fucking,
people would people would gather around him, and he just fucking shoot it up in the air and whip it around, and somehow nobody ever got touched with. That
like
was
you got a halo of
that was
piss
the
above
pressure.
you.
Yeah, it just turned to mist, and
that was
everybody
the
got
pressure. Yeah.
piss mist, man. I didn't even feel it.
Weeders in the mist.
Could he only do that trick when it was raining?
Just like- he had the ability just to shoot it up in single stream without divergence and kept it tight. And it was a giant pea lasso.
Dude, I remember.
I love that you're still mystified by it. 'cause so
Dude,
am
I
yeah,
can't explain it. It's like seeing the UFO, but it's documentary.
I can't explain
Dude,
it,
he
but I'll
can
figure it
shoot-
fucking
UFP,
out.
man.
He can literally shoot it straight
Unidentified
in the
flying
air
piss.
and whip it around. And it's just until you see it, you can't. But what I can tell you is that
I want to believe.
everybody saw it in Wrigleyville back in the early 2000s because
Man.
nobody could believe.
I mean, was he doing this for like money, like dollars on the street
it was
corner?
like parlor tricks, dude. He'd
probably
come
for
out and just
beer, so he
fucking-
could keep doing it. Right?
So in
you
Wrigleyville,
imagine being that first guy standing in front of him and he gets it wrong. You're like, I'll give you $20. Do the lasso thing. He just like
turns
oh,
around and
shit.
fucking shoots the guy.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, like I guarantee you, if he turned around and just fucking blasted you in the chest, you're on your ass. There was
Just
so much
fucking fire
PSI when that came out that he could literally knock a grown man
I
out.
was gonna say, has he got like the finger on the tip?
Oh
Like,
yeah, no, he put the finger on the tip so he could just like angle it a little bit. But there was again, until you see it, you can't actually believe it.
That
I wonder what
reminds me.
that guy's doing right now.
He
fucking
runs
working
a
for the
farm.
carnival.
Same thing. Yeah, he's doing the same
So,
thing.
You're gonna laugh, but he lives in North Park, Colorado, not South Park. North Park, and he is an actual ranger.
Oh shit.
And
Well,
he's
I
a-
mean, last
He's
one
a
like
great
that, yeah.
human being. He just has
Just
a unique
pissing all
ability
over
to pee.
cows now. That's
I used
all.
to be somebody.
Dude, that reminds me, like
I used to be somebody.
in like third, fourth,
Be somebody.
in
There you
third,
go.
fourth grade, we used to have contests in the urinal at the bathroom, and it was like you start peeing, right, and everyone would take a step back.
Oh
And then-
yeah.
and then take a step back.
Yeah.
And your
And then you
arm
take
goes
it, yeah,
up.
you take a step back, and the first one who had to like run up to it, like lost.
Oh,
And I just
God.
remember my buddy fucking like running up, and he tripped over his own like pants, and fucking just like just like flattened out on the floor and like smashed his dick. But then he's also pissing all over himself.
They're going to say he
At least
smashed
his
his
face
face
didn't
into the
hit the-
urinal.
the-
No, no, no. he-
That everybody's
No,
been pissing
but
in
man,
for the last.
I gotta say the
Because
pee
that would have been a
race,
St. Joe thing.
so happened at school. At least when I was in elementary school, we did that all the time. Like in the boys' bathroom upstairs in Deerfield, it's like everybody would just you're peeing and you'd see how far back you could walk before you had to like run forward and try and get the whole thing in the
And
urinal.
he's like halfway penguin and just. Oh, shit. All right. Well,
Okay.
unfortunately, Corey,
Boys are gross.
we do have to call it an end because that one segment is usually as long as our entire show.
Apologies.
No, it was great.
Nice one.
Dude, thank you so much for coming on. I always loved working with you, man. Fucking, you got me the job over there at O'Toole's in Libertyville when I came to town, man. Appreciate it so much. Just even when I needed advice, like, making my way through this business, you've always been there for me. So I really do appreciate everything you've done for me. Just being, someone I could talk to, someone to give me advice, someone who's been through it all. Hit up Bagels by the Book. Hit up O'Hare International Airport. Support Corey over there doing whatever the fuck he's doing.
Eat wherever.
Just-
Good odds you'll eat. Yeah.
Just eat or drink anything at O'Hare. You don't have a choice.
If you're hungover, come to Bagels by the Book. We'll fix that
Yeah.
for you.
And honestly, Bagels by the Book, dude, I got to get one for Easter coming up here. They're fucking bagels and lox tray. Delish. It's
Yum.
family parties. I bring it every time. It's literally my go-to. We definitely got to bring you back on. I mean, we skimmed over so much. Like,
couple
it was
things.
just- yeah. Like
All good.
the first segment alone, I was just kind of like, well, that could be 30 minutes. That could be 30 minutes. So we'll definitely get you back on here again. Talk it up. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us on this Monday. And if you listening to this podcast think you got to come on here, tell us a crazy story. Like, you got the crazy story everybody in this industry needs to hear. Hit us up at 4shotspodcast@gmail.com. That's the number 4, SHOTS podcast @gmail.com. Anybody else got anything? All right, ladies and gentlemen,
Titties.
that is the end of this episode of the One
Good point.
2,
3.
4
Four
Shots
Shots
Podcast.
Thank you, cousin Brendan, for letting us hang out a little late tonight.
Boobies.
Lobbies.
Did we do?
Apologies. It's just-
No.
Did we do 4 1800s?
At the end?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's 4.